Crossover.
Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover. You just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
All right, time for the crossover. It's brought to you by Everlow Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlowconcrete.com. We go to Circa, Las Vegas, to the Connor Happer Show. The three best friends are together. Are you guys all still best friends?
Oh, yeah. We love each other.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
ELE.
this time. You guys sound
ELE,
great.
Gary.
You guys sound great, by the way.
Do we?
That's a great connection.
Wow. I've only been told I sound terrible.
You do sound terrible.
You sound
Nick.
bad.
Yeah, you sound horrible.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Nick's been sick for over 24 hours.
I think it's just the air. It's just the desert air.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, so I'm gonna back up Nick here.
Yeah, they got you.
Because I was in Vegas last week and came back home, and I've had this kind of cold for a week.
Uh-oh.
So I'm with you, Nick. It's the air. The air is different out there.
You got to stay hydrated, you know? They only have, well, Josh has got his big old thing, and then there's like a
tiny baby waters.
Little baby waters, which we go through hundreds of them a day here at Circa.
And I don't think Nick had enough of those yesterday because when I arrived, he still had not had any water.
I was having so much water yesterday.
I thought you didn't have any water yesterday.
After we got the water, I was just slamming
Yeah,
water.
but before the water, you didn't have any water.
It wasn't that
Hey,
long.
is the cold front hit back the Midwest yet? What's going on out
It's
there?
here. It's
All
here.
right.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not good. It says it's 51 here.
Yeah.
It's
But it
cold
feel-
51.
It's a nice
It
51.
feels 60.
Really?
Yeah.
Feels
it's
60.
very
I love
reasonable.
it.
And if I jumped in that pool right there, here, let me turn you around if you're watching.
Nice.
Yes.
Topic alert.
Look at a heated pool.
If I jumped in that pool right there, I'd be 90 degrees because that thing is like a hot tub. It's awesome.
Nice.
There was people swimming yesterday. I mean, you can't stop the people from doing what they want to do.
That's true.
No, if you
Here in
come
Vegas.
if you come to Vegas, and even if it's cold, it's like going to the beach in Florida in December when the only people that are on the beach are tourists, not locals. You got to jump in it.
Been there.
Yeah. I could say I was the only one of the triumvirate here who brought a swimsuit. So
I forgot.
I didn't because I was worried about it being chilly after I got out of the pool, and I didn't want to be cold for a little bit.
That's important.
Yeah,
Maybe I watched the Creighton game from the pool today.
Oh, there you go.
How
Oh,
about that?
But
I
I
respect
don't.
that.
I think we're hot tubbers, all of us. Like Nick is still
Nope.
young enough; he can be a swimmer. No, we're hot tubbers, right?
Eh,
I mean,
Poll
this is a
question,
hot
are you
tub.
a hot tubber?
Are you a hot tubber? Put it up. Yeah. Put
I'm
it
not
up.
much of a hot. I don't remember the last time I've been in a hot tub.
You're missing out.
Evidently, right now, if you jump in.
Yeah, seriously, it's
Other than March, I guess.
the
That's a hot
steam
tub.
isn't coming off of it quite yet, but yesterday there was steam coming.
Oh, I
off.
see a little bit of it
more
over
of
there.
a warm tub than a hot tub.
Yeah, it's not bubbling.
Yeah, we'll get there though.
Mhm.
All right. Who had the best night and the worst night last night with the four of you? Because you kicked Bishop to the curb because he's actually got to do a game today.
So
Well,
he
John
was
bet
the-
on the Ravens.
He bet on the Ravens and he bet on the over for Derrick Henry.
He did.
He had a
Oh.
very good night.
okay.
Everyone else had a bad night.
Terrible.
Yeah,
Terrible.
it wasn't very good. I went and played craps
Yes.
and a miserable experience because the guy to my left had never played before. And unlike
Oh.
Happer, who has also never played, Happer just watched. This guy was trying to figure it out with a friend. And so every time he would grab the dice, because he was rolling, he would take them outside of the table.
You're like,
And
don't pull the dice off the
And
table.
he didn't understand what those words meant, so he just was like, "What?" So he dropped them. And then at one time, and then his friend is trying to tell him like, so he rolled a point and it was like 10. And so his friend was trying to teach him the thing where if you set up the dice as a 5 and a 5, then you'll roll another 10, which is like, no, it doesn't work that way. But he didn't understand what his friend was saying, so he just kept like leaving them there. And Gary, when he crapped out, he rolled a 7. The pit boss just shook his head. Like, you are a giant idiot. And I was like, thank you. You are my spirit animal right now. I'm just trying to make a little money, and this guy's ruining the experience.
Incredible.
Oh, it's so bad.
At that point, it's better him than you.
Oh, my gosh.
I had a blackjack mistake last night.
Shapper got roasted.
Toward the
By the dealer?
20.
She wouldn't have said anything except for
You asked.
It was she gave me an ace and a 4, and she had a 4, and I'm like, and I hit it, and I don't know why I hit it. I'm like, I don't know. It was at the end of the night I hit it.
Yeah.
And and then I ended up busting or whatever, and she and I was like, should I have stayed on that? And she was like, yes. And
She responded so fast.
I was like, yeah,
It was pretty funny.
probably.
I
should've.
expected so much more out of you. I thought you were prepared. You're a Vegas regular.
I know.
I'm generally
Yes.
pretty good on that stuff, but I get in certain situations and my brain like don't be. The lesson here is don't be afraid to ask the dealer for help. Sometimes don't be afraid.
Especially at the craps table, they'll help you out.
Yeah, absolutely. Should I do this? Should I do this? Ask what the book says. Yes, no, whatever.
Yeah, don't ask the pit boss. Just ask, the dealers.
Yeah.
Last night, I had the Chargers +3 and the Cyclones on the money line in a parlay.
Oh,
Halftime, Nick was feeling great.
It
I
happened
was
at the
feeling
exact same
awesome.
time.
Yeah.
It sucked.
It was like
ended
the
right
Ohio
there.
State missed field goal hitting at the same time as New Year's
Uh-huh.
a couple of years ago. That's what it was for
Oh.
Nick. It was like the Chargers lose and Auburn wins
It
at the same
sucked.
time.
Nick said it sucked, everybody.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
hey,
indeed.
do you think if we sent the Donnie Fickle video to John Boy, he would break it down?
No. Ooh, good one. The problem is there's only one angle, right?
Yeah, and you can't really see their lips.
If we had, I think if we had the angle of the assistant that's wearing the white hoodie, then it would start to fill in some of the blanks because he appears to be the guy that got the cop triggered to go do something.
I really like that. I want to I should go back and take a screenshot of Donnie just giving the thumbs up, like a really hard thumbs up. It's like, nice job. That was quite the interaction there between those two.
People have wondered because Fickle had a bad day on Saturday. He was agitated.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it's because he's jealous of Rule? That Rule got the job that he coveted?
Oh, that would be interesting if that's what it was. He's just having a bad time.
Yeah, he's
Everyone
in pain.
hates him. He had to fire his coordinator. He's having a bad time.
Rule liked his coordinator. Fickle's thinking, why didn't I hire Dana?
See, that's why I said this. I said this to Jimmy earlier. I find it ironic that earlier in the week they fire Longo on Sunday. Rule brings up Longo and praises him on Monday.
That would be pretty funny.
That'd be pretty funny. That'd be
Bring him
pretty
in as an
funny.
analyst for the game, but
Uh-huh.
That's the job I should have, and that guy's got it. And I just went in there, and my defense gave up 44.
Oh, man.
My life sucks.
He probably figured out, well, I guess I'll take the Wisconsin job. It's basically the same. It's nope. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. It's different.
It's a tad bit different.
Yeah.
All right. How long are you guys on the air today?
So we're on until 12:30 when John takes over from the MGM Grand.
Now,
which is
Now, are you guys
10:30
going to
our
go
time.
down? Because MGM Grand is a little bit further from where you guys are. It's on the Strip.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to go to the game?
We're
No.
going tomorrow.
We'll go tomorrow.
Okay.
night.
Yeah, we're going to the game tomorrow because so then we'll be back on after the game and after the post game. So we're like kind of doing halvesies of both the Happer Show and on Sportsmanlike Conduct today.
Now, have you been watching the weather to make sure you guys make it back here for Thanksgiving?
Is it?
I know Nick was nervous.
Thursday
Is-
in Denver is supposed to be a
Oh no, that's where I'm going.
That's where I'm going
Yeah.
too.
Oh no.
touch and go.
Oh, the Google weather right now, Josh says Thursday is great. Lots of sun. Now Wednesday, lots of snow.
Tomorrow for me, it looks like it's only supposed to be chilly in Omaha, but I guess I'm not looking at the whole radar, am I?
Yeah, I think we'll be okay.
Okay, good.
All right.
Yeah. What are you guys seeing? What radars are you looking
The
at?
news that said, "Hey, Thursday in Denver is not the place
Oh,
to be."
Wait,
the
who said which?
mainstream
Yeah,
media.
which news said this? Fox News or MSNBC, Josh?
Good morning.
Let me know how much
America.
I can trust this.
How is your CNN news weather forecast?
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
I
Is it
only
the
believe-
weather, the woke there.
I only believe in Al
Nice.
Roker.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
Here's
I
what's
found a
happening
story
in
from
your neck of the
the
woods.
Denver Post.
Forgot about
Up
Al.
to 3 more feet of snow. Oh, now I have an
Feet.
ad in front of me.
3 more.
No.
feet.
That's
More.
a lot of snow.
But it says in
and
the
feet.
mountains.
Oh, yeah, that's where they
Okay.
grow it.
Okay.
In the mountains. Snow will fall in the mountains Tuesday afternoon before moving to Denver overnight.
Yeah.
But that's into Wednesday. We'll be okay,
We'll be
right?
fine. We'll be
City,
fine.
Don't
city
worry
like
about
that
it.
can get it cleared out for Thursday. You'll be fine.
Yeah, they just
you-
got to
you
clear out the.
Just need a
right
window.
hand.
Just dive that plane right in there and we'll
Reroute
be
you to
fine.
Wichita. It's good.
Any
Take a train, a bus.
any Euros left over from the Formula One weekend?
So there was definitely a race vibe when we got here on
Mhm.
Sunday morning, but
Oh yeah,
You could see the tire marks on the strip. It was really cool.
and the people.
it seems to have cleared out. We've turned into a little bit more of a college basketball crowd.
Okay.
I've seen a bunch of KU fans. I mean, low key tonight, I am very interested in checking out KU and Duke. Which I could, I was looking at the secondary ticket market. I could get in for like $30.
Yeah, we've
Oh,
discussed
Oh, that'd be
going
worth
there.
it.
Yeah, might check that out after.
Yeah,
the
we're
show
saving our
tonight.
money for the bowl.
Yeah, we got to make the trip all the way down to the Strip. So
Mhm.
that's good. I've seen a lot of KU fans,
Okay.
and I think the either most or second most represented fan base that I've seen here at Circa would be Creighton. Would be the
Yeah.
Creighton Blue Jays.
There have been Blue Jay fans.
definitely.
I've heard a lot of people that did Southwest, so they went Omaha, St. Louis, Vegas. You could do Omaha, Denver, Vegas.
Yeah.
On like Southwest is super popular. This might Vegas might be to the Creighton fan maybe more popular than New York City for the Big East tournament
Whoa,
Ooh.
hello.
because
Yeah.
they've become like Mac likes Vegas, so they become regulars out in Vegas.
This is what the third time in the last handful of years
Mhm.
that they've been here now.
What was the first time?
Well, they played a one-off UNLV game, and then
Because I remember the one a couple of years
they
ago. when
played
they
in
did,
the
like,
weirdo
the
tournament.
two.
Yes.
They played 2 games, right? Was that a part of the losing streak?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I thought
that
so.
was in the whole mono situation.
Ah.
Which he had mono by the
Many
way.
are asking Happer if he
What-
had mono again on Friday.
What did he have on Friday?
He had Berke.
Mm.
He had Mia.
Gary, did you see yesterday?
I have the Mia.
Jack Mitchell, when he joined us,
Yes.
he decided to do a donation of $100 to John's charity of choice for every field goal that Kalkbrenner made on Friday.
Oh, ain't that nice of Jack?
What a guy!
That guy's got
hey.
deep pockets.
Hey,
He does.
Check.
never.
He has a lot of big checks too. Did you see the number on that one?
Mm-hmm.
That's where we missed out on our marketing opportunity with all of our pick'em that we did not have the big check.
Definitely.
We had a real check. I think I'd rather get the big check than the real
I
check.
loved. Yeah, it's like Happy Gilmore. I want one of those big checks.
Don't we have like a blank slate big check that we could like
We do?
expo marker?
Yeah,
some
just a
stuff
dry
on there?
erase check.
I,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that idea.
I thought
I
I
could
saw
probably
one of
fit that in the
those
budget.
Jordan tweets at all of us. He had
Jordan.
mono shot attempts on Friday.
Nah.
ones. All right, that's pretty good.
What do you think the odds would have been that John Hull would have more field goals than Kalkbrenner if you could have got that line? You would have been
rich.
retired by this morning.
Yeah. Even if you would have told me that because he had 3, right? He had 3. John Hull had
Yes.
3 field goals. If you would have told me that John Hull's gonna have 3 field goals and Ryan Kalkbrenner just needed more than 3, I would have said, yeah, it's a pretty good chance that happens. But nope, 0 field goals.
So
Mr.
do
Tree.
we think that the first field goal attempt this afternoon against San Diego State will be Kalkbrenner?
I would say that they probably got to get him a touch right away. Find a way to get him going. That would be a smart move. But hey, maybe Nebraska's got the blueprint. Maybe you just throw a whole bunch of I really like what Hoiberg said after the game. He's like, yeah, we threw Mia at him, and then he got tired after about 2 minutes, and then we just threw all these other guys at him. They nailed that thing, man. You got to give credit to Nebraska. I know Gary was excited to dunk on Creighton during this crossover. Many have been excited to dunk on Creighton, but
And Happer.
you should. Yes, many people have. Been
We
dunking
get
on
we get
Happer.
1 year and then we see if we can do it again.
I think Nebraska basketball fans should be really happy with their team's performance, right? Not like, yes, you dunk on Creighton, but also like Nebraska. That puts them in a different
Hey,
place.
Nebraska now needs to root for Creighton, and Creighton needs to root for Nebraska.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
quad 1. You got to root for the quads.
Yeah.
Got to root for the quads.
I guess it makes it a bad loss for Creighton if Nebraska doesn't end up doing anything this year. But that'll be fine.
Tyler has a question. He said,
Hello, Tyler.
He said, I see all of these pictures and video from Vegas, but I never see guys eating. Do you guys ever eat in Vegas?
A lot of good food in Vegas.
Nick,
Why
Nick
would you
did-
want videos of us eating?
Yeah, first of all, that's weird. But
kinda
second of
weird.
all,
Just
the
reading,
answer
just
is
reading.
yes. Nick, what did you say? Happer, can you do the cringiest thing ever?
Yep.
Yeah, so Nick ate food last night, and Happer recorded him eating it for the vlog
You'll
that will come out after our trip.
Yep. I'm compiling a bunch of things for the vlog instead of doing daily things.
Hmm.
Happer's contributing, so it's going to be vlogs from many angles.
I love contributing.
Are you, Nick, are you going to do a walk and talk while you're going down Fremont Street or anything like that?
Oh, that'd be good content. Maybe you do that during the game today.
Yeah, and maybe I'll do a walk and talk during game day. I
Interview
think it'd
some
be fun
women
to
of the
go to
night.
them.
We had a little bit of that last night. Walking down Fremont Street on our way back from dinner, we went to a place a couple blocks away, as recommended by one Mike J. Schaefer. That was delicious.
It was very good.
by the
It
way.
was.
And we came back, and
Indeed it was.
John was with us, and we had to show John all the landmarks, like the White Castle, his favorite T-shirt store
Yes.
that had
Oh,
vulgar
yeah.
jokes on it.
Oh yeah.
If you guys need a Trump
CVS.
shirt, let me know because I got the plug.
There's so many different types.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there really
Yeah.
are. Also, lots of shirts about private parts and the various private parts that
Great movie.
men and women have.
Mhm.
Yep. And
Great
sometimes in Vegas you meet a woman who has your part.
Sometimes.
You get a discount.
Sometimes.
They're the ones late at night that are sitting on the corner slot machine. Just how you doing?
What would be
How you doing?
your Gary? What would be your racket? Your like if you were one of these street people who just like take tip donations.
Yeah, what would be your bit?
What would be
Gary?
your bit? What
Oh,
would
that's fun.
What would you do?
The naked cowboy has been taken.
Yes, it has.
Come
So-
up with something different. Find a new slant.
No chili
Um,
this time of the year.
You know what? I'm not sure because I couldn't pull off, the guys that stand and they try and get you to do the tours. Like, hey, you want to go see the Grand Canyon in a helicopter?
Yeah, I like
They're,
those guys.
up and down the strip.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to think about that.
So-
I could find a little racket, I bet.
Oh, what's her top 5 favorite ones that we saw yesterday?
So I like the guys. So there's a couple guys who are standing down there, and they're probably there right now, getting ready to go for the day. And they'll have like a tip jar out and whatever, and they'll be playing some like loud EDM, like something's about to happen music, and then they'll just stand there the entire time. They never do anything.
I think if you tip them, then they move like 2 inches. I think that's their bit.
Oh, really? You got to
Yeah.
pay them to hit
Oh.
the beat.
Yeah, there's so if you go down by, it's across the street from the Bellagio, there's a Dunkin' Donuts there. I noticed a guy, just like you might see in San Francisco, where they're painted, he looks like the Tin Man.
Oh yeah.
And-
Oh yeah.
But if you take a picture of him, he'll come after you so that you have to pay for it.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
The
Yeah.
guys who are pretending to be like statues or whatever.
Yes,
yes.
Yeah. I like that bit. I think that's pretty
It's a
cool.
fun bit.
Because I think it's really difficult to do.
I'm just gonna paint myself silver and stand on this bike.
We
for
saw a
5
guy
hours.
doing that yesterday.
Yep, we saw that guy. We saw Michael Jackson.
Whoa.
He's back. Yeah.
There was
I
a
know.
guy dressed
Breaking
as a
news.
gorilla,
Can you
but
feed it?
also Santa.
Oh, okay. So he's covering all the bases.
Saw
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse.
Did you see the ladies that are dressed at cops,
Yes.
where they'll come and spank the
No.
male person that they'll arrest, but somehow, some way, they're missing some stuff on the backside of their cop uniform?
I
Yeah.
got whistled at by one of those fine cops last night. but
Nice.
I just kept walking.
There's also a place. I wonder if you guys would be interested in this, where you go into this little room and then you put your feet in a tank of water, and
Oh.
little tiny fish come and eat your feet.
I
Little
have
fish
heard
in
of this.
It's supposed to get the dead skin and calluses off your feet and
Thought
make them
this was in
super smooth.
Thailand only.
Okay.
Are you guys interested in the feet thing?
You want some fish feet?
I may do it one time.
Okay.
Like
One
there's
time.
there's
Everything
there's
once.
another place that's not very far from where you guys are that I noticed last week has naked sushi.
Oh yeah. Well, what was the
I'm
ad?
gonna need-
What was the ad?
Other
Unlimited
jokes?
sushi or unlimited shrimp cocktail for like
$2.99.
$2.99.
We wanted John to eat it.
Garrett, what's naked sushi?
Okay, so
It's like naked news, but with sushi.
there is a model and she lays down on the table and they cover her whole
Oh.
body in sushi and you sit around her and eat sushi
Happy
about that?
Thanksgiving.
and you pick the sushi off her body.
Totally.
The Nick Grimm special.
Why are
Sounds
we
like
calling
the
it that?
NRG Christmas party.
Exactly.
Ah.
Exactly what I was thinking.
All right, have fun with the topic alert. Tomorrow we'll play Mary F or Kill
Oh, okay.
with the
Perfect.
three of you in Vegas.
Perfect.
Sounds awesome.
Cool.
Gentlemen, appreciate it.
Have a
That
great
is-
show.
Bye, guys.
That is the
Bye.
crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. We are here at Circa in Las Vegas. Stadium Swim to be exact. They're getting things fired up for the day right now. But we, meaning Josh and I, and Nick, have Topic Alert Radio before we take you out to the MGM Grand with Creighton basketball against San Diego State at 12:30 today. We'll be back to start things off coming up.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, here we go. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. I think it's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. I am Connor Happer. Josh Odson back in our lovely palatial studio at 50th and Dodge in Omaha. Josh Peterson is with me today.
Whoa.
Nick Grimm is back there today.
Hello.
Hi. Many people are asking, what's wrong with Nick?
It's the air. It's the air.
Yeah, Jordan also said, is Nick incredibly hungover? It sounds like it.
No, it's the air. It's
I
dry.
think Nick has only had like a drink or two this entire time we've been here. Maybe more than that.
That drink I had at that restaurant last night, though, was incredible.
Uh-huh. You did enjoy that one.
You
did
have
enjoy
to
that one.
hydrate. It is the desert
It
after
is.
all.
Mm-hmm.
So the air is dry. It's another overcast day.
Yeah, we see a little blue
There's a
sky.
little blue right there.
But mostly clouds.
Yesterday we got like 10 minutes of hot, piercing sunlight
Oh, no.
in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
And
it
then
was piercing.
that was kind of it. Right. We could see kind of what's coming back over the mountains over there.
Is that the snow that's on its way to Denver?
Well, maybe. I don't know.
The 3 feet of snow?
Yesterday, the mountains started to disappear, and I got a little bit concerned.
Mm.
But
they do that sometimes. I think that's normal.
the mountains are in view today. The mountains are not blue though. They're like gray and brown and stuff like that. It's cool when you fly into Las Vegas. Everybody kind of, if you're coming from the north, obviously you kind of take the same route in, and basically it's miles and miles and miles and miles of nothing, and then you go over this kind of ridge with a bit of mountains, and then bang, it's the city, and you're like flying over the strip, right next to the strip as you come in. So one of the first things you see when you start to see the city of Las Vegas out of your right airplane window,
Curses!
out of your right airplane window, you'll see the crown jewel of Fremont Street, which is where we are today. That is Circa Resort and Casino and Stadium Swim. I believe this place opens at 9.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah, so
They're preparing a winter wonderland on the screen right now.
Yeah, they're working some things.
I love
They're
it.
cooking.
Yeah, they are definitely cooking.
Let
a little
Circa
bit.
cook.
They didn't have the tables. There's a small area inside Stadium Swim where there's tables. You can play some blackjack or roulette or whatever you want in there.
Yeah.
Didn't have them open yesterday. I think they have them open on the weekend.
Mm.
So we'll see if they get those rolling today. But it's time for Topic Alert Day.
Yes, it is.
We have many topics, and if you guys have topics that you want us to be alerted about,
look, it's your child.
What is this?
Your child is watching. Look at that. Shout out to your child.
My child and my father.
Oh, is that your dad?
Yes,
Mr. Happer?
Mr. Happer.
Mr. H?
Oh, no. What an early over.
His child is watching.
Under.
Yeah.
Wow.
There she is. She loves when we do shows from Vegas.
Do it.
Yeah.
She loves it.
Finally,
Nice.
get that guy away from
Did
me.
you say hi to her?
Yeah, say hello to your
Say
child.
hello.
Hi, Sophie.
Aw.
Hi. Good morning.
Hello, Sophie. Nice to meet you through the television.
Yeah, there you go.
This is awesome.
There you go. I check on her technology is so great. I could check on her on the baby monitor.
Oh, that's fun.
Just whenever
Yeah.
I
Just
whenever I need
spying
to
on your
fix.
daughter.
Somebody tweeted at
invading
Happer
her
yesterday
privacy.
because it was among the many videos or pictures that were making their way to the internet and said, your wife is a saint for allowing you to go to Vegas.
She
with a
is.
newborn." To which you said she is.
She is.
Yeah,
She
no
is.
one is arguing this at all.
At the same time, I will defend myself and
Oh,
say,
interesting.
No.
I will say I'm working. Are we not working?
We are
working.
Are we not
We're
working?
doing a show right now.
I think so.
We're doing a show later on.
So we're
Watching basketball is technically our job.
it's not like it's all just fun and games. We're doing some radio, and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't have the free reign of the city quite yet, but we'll see if we can.
No, that's tomorrow night after
yeah.
the show when
and,
we go to.
And
the
guess
strip.
what? At which point Nick is out of here.
Yep.
Yeah, Nick is saying, "See ya."
He's
I'm
like-
gonna go over to the mountains with the snow.
I'm going to go see my family for
Mm,
Thanksgiving.
mm.
Yeah, we all are, but just at different times.
Oh yeah.
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 Some are So I'm gonna have to wake up at 3:00 on Thursday morning to get out of this.
I
hellscape.
don't think you should go to sleep. I think you should stay awake and just document
But
what
then
you do.
Thanksgiving is going to be the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
It would be, because your daughter is going to be so happy to see you, and you would say, I'm tired. I'm going to
I
sleep.
have to take a nap.
You got to go home and take care of your child.
All right,
Uh-huh.
so here we are from Stadium Swim at Circa. I've seen a bunch of Creighton fans out here, so this is going to be really good. Creighton today against San Diego State at 12:30 Central Time, 1:00 tip-off. We'll send you out to John, who's across town at the MGM Grand, who came and visited us last night and enjoyed football with us last night. Enjoyed
He
dinner.
did enjoy.
And he kept rooting for the Ravens, and it was very upsetting for all of us.
It was disgusting.
He got a little. He started yelling very loudly at refs. He did.
he really fluctuated between loving refs and hating refs.
We all kind of did last
Yeah.
night. We were complimenting.
I
the
was
refs.
just laughing at Quentin Johnson and how he can't catch the freaking ball.
Stone hands.
I tried to yell.
Oh my
Hands
gosh.
of rock.
He really did. Every single time. There was the play when the Ravens were up by 7, and you thought if the Chargers can get a first down here, maybe they can get a nice little cover. And they dropped it, and then the Ravens scored, and the game was over.
Yeah.
Also, when they just went for it on 4th down a million times in the first half, that was very upsetting. Hey, we're at our own 20-yard line. Let's go for
Or
it.
then all those weird times they decided to punt when they probably shouldn't have.
Very upsetting.
Yeah.
Oh, the Chargers?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Go Chargers.
They made me
go.
upset. You know what, Josh? I was right. The Chargers suck.
No, they,
What a bad
they
team
lost
with
to
a
one of
bad
the best
coach.
teams in the NFL, Nick. They lost to one of the best teams in the
With a bad quarterback.
The San Diego Chargers will come up today in NFL Reaction Overreaction, a game which Josh is very excited to play.
I love this segment. I listen to it every week. It is among my favorite things that you do, and I get to participate today. This is going to be great.
That's exciting. It's like calling a little kid up onto the stage and sing a song with me.
Yeah, seriously. I feel like this is a Pearl Jam concert, and I'm Mike Stibbs, and they just invited me up to sing a song.
Wow.
That's how I
Wow, that
you are
is
my Pearl Jam.
high
Happer.
praise.
Guys,
You are my Pearl
He
Jam.
can't be like your Switchfoot.
The writers are running around. They are very pleased with themselves after Josh said that. I cannot believe the reaction.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the writers always tend to give us,
It's sad.
whatever our moods are, the writers usually reflect that.
Oh, interesting.
So which is really good.
All right.
So anyway, Creighton San Diego State today at we'll send you up to John at 12:30.
Awesome.
Creighton, by the way, is 4.5-point favorites.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it is sort of interesting.
You thought
isn't
they'd
it?
be dogs, right?
I didn't think they'd be dogs
With Mr. Ashworth out.
but I am curious to see the response. We'll talk about Creighton a little bit today and what comes next of them for a tough week in Vegas here and dealing, at least for a period of time, without their point guard. So you can hear that game. You're on 1620 The Zone and, of course, 101.9 The Keg in Omaha as well. Wanted to remind you all. Oh, let's set things up first. We don't have any guests.
No guests.
In the morning portion of
Just
it.
Sipple later today. That is the only guest we'll talk to. We would never
Okay.
cancel Sipple.
So we'll do that in the afternoon when we tell you about the lineup powered by the Rooferees at John Hagan's Weather Guard. If you want to get in touch with the show, feel free to do so. 402-951-1620 on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. You can call or text that number. Tweet at Happer Show, at Connor Happer, at Josh Tweederson, at producer_Josh, at 1620 The Zone, at No Context 1620.
Where there are many photos and many tweets and many videos that are making their way.
At Locked On Nebraska. Oh,
Wrong pod.
all right.
Wrong one. At Griminim.
Yeah, at Griminim.
If you want to talk to Nick, at Griminim.
So you can add us on whatever JTech Constructions on Twitter feed you please today.
Tweet Nick
And-
your home remedies for desert air.
Nick, drink some tea.
Yeah.
You're gonna be okay if
Yeah.
you just drink some tea.
He bought cough drops last night and was very excited about their price. So remember that? He was like,
He
"Look,
goes, I got this little. He's gone now.
Yeah.
he got a little, the little like tubes.
Oh,
they're,
yeah.
They're like this. He had the little tubes of cough drops. He's like, this only costs $5. I'm like, only costs $5 for that.
He should have asked me. I have cough drops in my
extrapolate.
bag. I always have cough drops
I
on
also
me.
have cough
We are
drops in my bag.
announcers. We are radio men. Come on, Nick. You got to have the cough drops with you at all times.
So you can email us as well on the Equitable Bank inbox, where they take banking personally, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Connor at 1620thezone.com. Josh at 1620thezone.com.
That's where I am.
Josh O at 1620thezone.com. So send us there. Or Nick at 1620thezone.com.
Yep. That is where his email is and will always be.
Yeah, even whoever you're trying to get in contact.
That's true. If you're still trying to email Nick Baugh, which some people still are, it goes to Nick Grimm.
Nick at 1620thezone.com. And we appreciate you all watching this morning. If you're trying to get the vibe, if you're trying to feel it out a little bit on YouTube, 1620 The Zone TV, or on our website, zonetv.live.
There are a lot of comments coming in, Happer, about Steve Sipple.
Okay. What's
Travis,
Sipple doing?
No.
of all the guests, Sipple would be the last one to cancel. He also adds, Sip is washed. BA Coach's show.
He's a chill guy, I thought.
Sipple is a legend. Bayman loves Sip.
Why is the conversation about Sipple?
Because we mentioned that he'll join us later today.
You just say Sipple one time, all of a sudden
People
the
have
views
takes.
go up.
Yeah, they really do. It's
Moves
like
the
saying
needle.
Jack Mitchell's coming on to talk about Creighton losing to Nebraska, and everyone's like, oh, sweet, I'll see you there. And then Keena writes, sounds like Nick needs one of those big 3-foot margaritas.
Oh, when we go, well, Nick won't be coming to the strip with us, period.
No,
Right?
we will not see him on the strip.
So that's really where you get those.
I've never had one of those 3-foot margaritas.
You want to be a weirdo and go on the strip and drink one of the big margaritas?
I don't know. I mean, it does sound. I love margaritas, but
They're really
we have
good.
to wake up the next morning to fly
They're
into
really
the snow.
They're really sticky. You know.
Yeah.
It's an odd.
You'll
thing.
never
Also,
be the
deep-
head coach of Nebraska with that attitude.
Good one. Debo says Josh is banned from Talking Jays. Me? I am banned from Talking Jays?
Or banned from talking Jays.
Yeah, which of the Joshes?
Are we talking Jays? We will talk Jays.
Yeah, you mentioned we're talking Jays
We're
today.
gonna talk some Jays. Debo, I've seen Debo's comments over the last couple of days. He's been very concerned
About the Jays?
He's holding up his concern sign. Josh, throw that thing up. That's Debo about Creighton.
Well, understandably so. They lost to Nebraska by a lot. Ryan
11.
That's a lot. Ryan Kalkbrenner had one field goal attempt. That's weird. Best player that they have. One field goal attempt. And a guy got hurt. Things are bad.
Yep.
Yeah. I understand it. I understand being miserable. I love being miserable about my team. I do it all the time.
Creighton fans are kind of down bad right now.
They are.
That's
They really are.
They're hoping and praying. Every day that goes by, every second that goes by, I see another Creighton person talking about how they need to get Fedor. We need Fedor right now. When is Fedor coming? Is he the savior? I don't know.
Many are asking.
I saw Fedor working out before the Nebraska game, but no reports on his eligibility status as of yet. But maybe he's getting prepared to play in a game at some point down the line.
Jason writes, you have to do the margarita once. Have to do it once. I've never done it.
I'm pretty sure you can get them. Keena said you can get. Yeah, you can definitely get them downtown. There's a thing actually called the Mega Bar. It's like below us.
Yeah,
the Mega Bar.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen this and
Go
heard
to the
about
Mega
this.
Bar, get the giant margarita.
They have them here.
Yeah, and walk up and down the street.
Okay.
And buy a Trump shirt. And
I won't be doing. I won't be doing that. There are many of them available though for anyone who would like to purchase them.
You won't
all sorts
have
of shirts.
to.
That's true.
Nebraska
No tomatoes. No tomatoes. No shirts. No hats for your boy.
Yep.
None at all. There is still some Biden gear down there if anyone's into that.
Well, most of it just says like I'm asleep or something.
Yeah. It's all available for you though. If you really want a Joe Biden T-shirt, this is the place for you.
I just picture a sad rack on the strip with like somebody like, ooh, I could really use that shirt.
It's like when the teams at the College World Series lose.
When he announced he was dropping out, they were
Half off Biden shirts.
Here we go. $5 Biden shirts are now available.
Keena also says get Nick in the Chippendales photo booth.
Oh wow,
great idea. We need to put Nick in awkward situations.
He loves them. Where did he go?
He
took a phone call and disappeared on us.
I don't know. You don't ask questions.
Oh yeah,
You don't ask questions.
no questions asked then.
All right, we're off and running here on a Tuesday. Topic alerts. We have many coming at you before we take you up till 12:30 today. We'll be back after this here on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
You know, a great thing about being here at Circa Resort and Casino is that everywhere you look, there are odds, sports odds. So I'm looking at the board right now for college football starting Friday, November 29th, Black Friday. Iowa -5.5.
Wow, it's moving
Against the Nebraska Cornhuskers, a game that starts at 4:30 here in Vegas.
Wow.
But 6:30 Central Time.
It'll be chilly. Have you seen this?
College basketball lines. I don't see Creighton up there yet.
It's today.
No,
It is today. But
interesting.
there's only so much space.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you go inside. They'll have the lines inside.
You have to keep the room up there for North Dakota State and Sanford.
Oh, yeah.
Which starts apparently at 4:30
Oh, yeah.
this afternoon.
And Northern Arizona and Eastern Michigan.
Apparently there's 100 college basketball tournaments that are happening around here this weekend.
It is feast week.
It is feast week after all. Hoops giving, people are saying that.
Mhm.
All right, college football playoff rankings come out tonight, and this will be an interesting batch.
Oh, yes, it
because
will.
we saw some top teams go down last week. We saw Alabama lose. We saw Ole Miss lose. We saw Texas A&M lose.
Yeah.
Are any of those teams going to be in the picture tonight? We will see, because Alabama famously now the holder of 3 L's. Hold these L's.
They're holding a lot of them.
I do not have the Tide in my rankings. I don't think anybody would at this point. So
I think there'll be 3 teams from the SEC inside of the top 12: Texas, Georgia, and Tennessee. And I think those will be the only 3 teams that are going to be inside of the top 12.
That is also what I have as well. So a couple of teams that I'm watching tonight just to see where they end up. What happens of Indiana after their loss to Ohio State? I've seen varying just narratives on what it is that happened in that game. Like, well, Indiana got shellacked, so you have to kind of move them. You have to move them out. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily describe that game that way.
Their offense played bad. Their defense, I thought, held up about as well as you can expect, especially given the reason that the game got out of hand was there was was it a blocked punt and then the sack fumble, and so that game
It was the missed punt.
Yeah,
the punt.
that's what it was.
Missed
Yes,
the ball.
he missed the ball,
Yes.
and so 14 points were essentially given to Ohio State by Indiana's special teams and offense, and that allowed for the score to kind of balloon like it did. When John and I did our top, I did 16 teams yesterday for some reason. I had Indiana at 10. I had them behind the usual suspects and the non-usual suspects, if you will. I had Miami at 8 and SMU at 9.
I don't think Indiana will get that penalized.
You don't think so?
For what happened? I have Indiana at 7.
Oh, wow. You don't think they're going to get penalized at all, basically.
I mean, they were at 5 last week.
They were at 5.
I think, and then you match them up against the other teams that are sort of in that range. And I mean, I think, they have 1 loss, right? And it's one of the best losses that you could possibly have. Obviously, there's been a lot of conversation about, but you match them up against, every other team in their area, and I think they hold their ground. I don't think it's a crime to lose to Ohio State.
I definitely don't either. If you're judging teams on how do they hold up against one of the best teams in the country, then there aren't really a whole lot of programs that would belong in the top 3.
Basically, we have Oregon and Ohio State.
Yeah, for sure.
Isn't that kind of
I think that those 2 teams have absolutely separated themselves from the rest of the country this year. They're consistent, and they're really, really good.
Who got beat worse by Ohio State, Penn State or Indiana?
I think Indiana did.
But Penn State got, the score ended up being 2 touchdowns, right?
For the Penn State game?
Yes.
It was just 1 touchdown.
It was just the one
It
touchdown.
was just 1 touchdown.
But not at all representative of that football game.
No, yeah, they get the pick 6 on the first drive. What are they up at one point? 10-0 in that game.
Yep.
They also do have, though, multiple drives inside of the red zone where they do not score. Both of them, inside of the 10-yard line where they do not score. That said, Ohio State was a weird fumble that bounced off of Will Howard's leg away from going up 21-10 in the first half as well. I just think thoroughly dominated Indiana was over the course of the 60 minutes more than Penn State was. Whereas
it's close.
I never really thought that Indiana, at the end of the first half, I was like, they're not going to win this football game. I definitely thought Penn State had a chance still to win the football game going into halftime. And so I think that they got dominated more.
Who will be the projected Big 12 team tonight.
So I put Arizona State as
That
my
is mine
number as my number one. John had Iowa State as his number one.
Where do you have them in your rankings?
I put Arizona State at 11,
I
and
have
this
12.
was my rankings. This wasn't my projected rankings. I have them at number 11. I think, and here's the thing, Happer, that win over Kansas that they have in their back
looking
pocket,
good.
It ages better by the week. Everyone's win over. If you beat Kansas, it suddenly looks a whole lot better the deeper we're getting into the season, given that they've now beaten 3 ranked teams in a row.
Yep. And then, we're looking at, we have a big K-State, Iowa State game this weekend, but we could be looking at an Arizona State, Iowa State Big 12 championship game for a spot in the college football playoff.
Yep.
Which is exciting. Iowa State not really near the picture right now, but they still have a chance to play their way in, of course. So that'll be interesting to watch, tonight. And then, there's the Boise conversation, which they have been a little slippery as of lately, but still hanging on. And I think the best thing that they have in their pocket right now is a close loss to Oregon.
Close loss to Oregon. They have not looked very good lately. And the other thing that they have going for them is that the best team in the G5 that is not Boise State, in my opinion, is Tulane, but they have 2 losses.
Yep.
And so that is hurting Tulane. If they would have beaten one of, who did they lose to? Ole Miss and Oklahoma. If they would have beaten one of those teams in the non-conference, they would be the obvious automatic G5 team. I dropped Boise to 14 in my rankings this week. They just, the last 3 or 4 games, they have not looked like a very good team.
I really play with their food against a 2-8 Wyoming team.
Yeah.
Just kind of messy.
Gross. Absolutely gross. I think that there's a very real world where they lose in the conference championship game and Tulane is the G5 representative.
So then you start to look at it and game it out a little bit, and there's a lot to happen both this weekend and next weekend and conference championship weekend. But we're starting to, the focus is becoming clear on which teams might get to host a college football playoff game this year. So the loser of the Big Ten championship game.
Do we think that's the 5 seed automatically?
Well, it'll be, certainly if Ohio State beats Oregon.
Then Oregon is the 5 seed for sure.
Absolutely.
What if Ohio State loses to Oregon?
That's an interesting question.
You think it's Notre Dame? Because I think the 5 seed is going to come down to
Notre Dame seems like an obvious host.
Notre Dame versus the loser of the Big Ten championship game in the battle of 5 versus 6.
Yeah.
I think you're right about Oregon. Interesting. I think Ohio State, man, that'd be close. If Ohio State loses to Oregon for the second time and they have 2 losses and Ohio and Notre Dame has 1, I think those are the 5 and the 6 kind of automatically. I really do.
Penn State seems like they're in really good position considering they don't have anything left to accomplish this year, and their ranking has been steady the whole year.
And so then my question would be, okay, so we just named 3 teams that we think will host. Big Ten runner-up, Penn State, and then Notre Dame. And so with the 4th one, would it be the SEC loser no matter who it is, or is it only the SEC loser if it's Texas? If Texas wins this week versus A&M and then they lose, they would have 2 losses.
Because the SEC loser, if it's not Texas,
is either
a 3-loss team
or a 4-loss Texas A&M. So would it seem to
that
be
team
Texas?
doesn't get in? That team doesn't get in.
That goes back to the debate of does the loser of the SEC championship game get into the playoff? A 4-loss Texas A&M getting in that would have wins over Texas, and who else did they beat? But man, I think you're looking at 3 northern teams that are hosting kind of automatically.
Is the ACC certainly a 1-bid league at this point?
No, I think they are now very much in the business for 2 bids.
SMU and Miami.
What do you think about this? I told this to John yesterday. I actually think it's better for the ACC if SMU wins the conference because they would be more apt to put Miami in as the second team.
Absolutely. I mean, they have a higher ranking right now,
and I do think the branding matters a little bit here.
Sure,
I do think the branding matters.
Miami could still sneak in. I mean, there's a lot left to be to shake out here. I think Indiana. If they're probably going to be sitting at home during conference championship week. They need
Penn State
wild.
And Ohio State to lose. It's going to be tough.
That's not happening this weekend. So they're going to be sitting at home with an 11-1 record and 1 loss to Ohio State. I think that team's probably still in the mix for
hosting.
Yeah,
maybe. I think they need a little bit of help. I think they're more likely to go on the road, though. But you're right. We could be looking at northern schools hosting college football playoff games, which was kind of always the dream, right? Always been what we've wanted.
Yeah, especially with all the conversation about the SEC this year. And then it's no lock. We talked about Boise in the G5, but who that highest rated 4th conference champion is.
Yeah.
Whether it be the Big 12 winner, the ACC winner, they're in the mix for the 3 and the 4. And then that, that group of 5, obviously, as well.
I thought Boise State was very much in contention for the 4 seed. Given that they have not played very well lately, I think that the Big 12 representative is going to jump them.
It's probably the one right now.
Yeah.
But Arizona State's got a long way to go.
They do.
So we'll see what kind of bump they get tonight.
That'll be interesting to see how they treat the win over BYU and what they do with BYU. Do they keep them in the top 25 to kind of bump up the teams that have now beaten them in recent weeks?
Anything else interesting you're watching for tonight?
I mean, I think we hit on the obvious ones. I guess what they do with the other SEC teams, the 3 losers, do we go into the late part of the night saying, yeah, Ole Miss, Bama, they're done completely. A&M is only in if they win out. Like, is that how we're
Or are they
viewing them?
still kind of lingering?
Yeah, like if Alabama,
because they're all out of the 12.
Yes,
that's for sure.
But if Alabama's like 13, like, they're very much in the mix. But if they're a little lower than that, it's going to be hard.
All right, college football playoff rankings show is tonight. It will be very interesting to watch, and then of course plenty to play out over the next 2 weeks of college football. Connor Happer, Josh Peterson, Josh Odson with you live from Circa Resort and Casino at Stadium Swim. They are opening their doors in 5 minutes. People will be flooding in, diving into the pools.
Don't do that. It says no diving.
Doing
Happer.
belly flops into the pools.
I guess that's allowed. It doesn't say no belly flops.
Things of that nature.
Uh-huh.
All right, we are back after this. More topic alert coming at you here on 1620 The Zone.
he does it the only way he knows how. With his massive sports brain sprinkled with a smidgen of rabble-rousing. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome back to Circa Hotel, Resort, Casino, Stadium Swim. Connor Happer, Josh Odson, Josh Peterson with you today. We will send you out to the Hey, there's the music.
There's the music. It's 9 o'clock, baby.
There we get some vibes going. Here we go. What do we got to start off the day here today, DJ? Oh, it's Haley Steinfeld.
Okay.
Josh Allen's girlfriend.
Oh, congrats to Josh Allen.
I love Josh Allen.
The best quarterback on the best team in the NFL.
Oh, no.
He's better than Justin Herbert.
Oh,
Well,
no.
Definitely better than Justin Herbert.
Oh, no. Disaster.
Josh Allen on his way towards an MVP this year.
Ooh.
On his way towards an MVP.
What about a Super Bowl?
Yeah, is he going to win a Super Bowl?
Yes,
Finally,
this
Mr.
is
Best quarterback in the world.
Yes, Nick. This is the year it happens. Everyone's always like, he can't do it. He can't do it because he's never done it. Patrick Mahomes had also never won a Super Bowl until he had.
Many people don't do things they've never done.
That's true.
You know how John wanted Shohei to be the best MLB player, but without a World Series?
Yes.
This is Josh Allen is my Shohei.
That's yours.
Yeah.
Josh
By the way,
Allen is my
MVP
Shohei.
odds plus 150 right now.
Is he the fave?
He is definitely the fave. Lamar Jackson is now behind him at plus
Lamar.
250. Saquon Barkley is now at plus 700, though, by the way.
Hello.
And if you're looking for the
morning show narrative on the Chit Chat shows,
I
Saquon
love
for
it.
MVP?
I love it. It's
John and I talked about it a little yesterday.
It is a great perspective. I hope it happens just to pound on the Giants more.
Also, this is ridiculous. The Bills, they're behind the Eagles, the Ravens, the Lions, the Chiefs at plus 700. That's garbage.
Okay, so it makes sense that the Lions are the Super Bowl favorite
Yes.
because they have the easiest path of making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I guess the Eagles, the argument for the Eagles is the same thing. They're in the NFC, so they
Exactly.
only have to go through the Lions.
Exactly.
And the Bills they'd have to go through the Chiefs and or
I
Ravens,
mean,
most likely.
That's what it is in the NFL right now. It's
they're
2
better
in the
than those
NFC and
teams.
it's 3 in the
They
NFC.
beat the Chiefs. They beat the Chiefs. They're better than the Chiefs. They beat the Ravens.
Still the
better
Chiefs.
than the Ravens. By the way,
You're going to have to deal with Patrick Mahomes.
we were talking about the Hoosiers and how they can make it to Indy, and I said it would require Maryland over Penn State and Michigan over Ohio State. If you would like to do a money line parlay,
Oh, dear.
$10 bet would pay $1,730.
Go Hoosiers.
That's what we're talking about in terms of getting Indiana to the Big Ten championship.
Google
game.
me.
Google me.
Coach Google me.
Coach Google.
Lots of college basketball coming up today.
Oh,
Look at this.
all right, time for me to go to the bathroom.
Feast week starts with Creighton. Well, is there a game on actually yet? There's got to be one starting.
There's got to
Yeah,
be somewhere.
It's 11 o'clock Central Time, is it not, Josh?
It
Let me
is.
take a look at the
Time
full
zones, am I
slate.
right?
The Bahamas
Oh, yeah.
has got to have a
we
game
got
going.
we got 3 games on right now. Drexel and Chicago State,
Okay.
Jacksonville and Siena, and Duquesne and Old Dominion.
Old
Duquesne,
Dominion.
team who won a game in the NCAA tournament last year, currently 0-6.
Oh, wow. Basketball.
Oh,
Every time I hear Old Dominion, I think it's a beer and not a college.
I think of Nick Baugh.
that's right.
What about that band, that country band? Old Dominion.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a country band called
I'm
Old
not
Dominion?
of country.
You bet I know music.
Do they sing about their trucks and women?
Kind of. Yeah. Old Dominion Freight Line.
Women.
Old Dominion Freight Line.
Hmm.
But in the big time, Creighton has San Diego State today at the Players Era Festival in the power bracket.
What? Is this like a Legends and Leaders situation?
Yes, kind of.
Why? What's the other bracket called?
It's
Finesse?
it's called the Impact bracket.
Okay.
Yep. I
Interesting.
want to watch some Impact bracket tonight because
Do you?
Houston and Bama play each other in fabulous Las Vegas.
I know those teams. They're good.
They
Poll
are.
question,
usually.
do you want to watch some Impact bracket tonight?
I'm ready for some Impact bracket action. Also, there's a game in the Terry's Chocolate Vegas Showdown.
What?
That is Kansas and Duke tonight at
That's right.
T-Mobile Arena downtown.
and then what's the other game in
down
that
there.
great bracket?
It's like Furman and
Amazing.
Seattle. Or
Amazing.
something. I don't know how they put that tournament.
Mark
together.
Furman?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think
Okay.
it's named after him. UConn will be coming off of their first loss of the year when they play Deion Sanders in the Colorado Buffalo.
Oh, Coach Prime?
Yeah, Coach Prime.
Tough loss for them this weekend versus Kansas. They
Or-
could have had the inside track.
Oregon and Texas A&M in a big meteor game.
Wow, you're out on Oregon.
No, I guess
Don't you like
Dana's
Dana?
cool. Dana's cool.
You want Dana to get hit by a meteor?
Well, just Creighton plays Texas A&M tomorrow.
Okay.
Trev,
Yeah, we don't like Trev anymore.
Oregon, I guess I'm fine with
Every
Oregon.
now and then I get tweeted at by somebody that has like a Trev thing in their handle, like Trev should die.
Take Trev's name off the
Yeah,
stadium.
man, people really hate that guy.
And then, of course, the Maui Invitational presented by Novavax.
What is a Novavax? Is that a vacuum company?
Sounds like
Is that
vax.
what? It seems like something Nick should do to his nostrils right now to help him speak.
I mean, my nostrils are fine. I can breathe fine through my nostrils.
Okay.
It's just my throat.
Many people were wondering, by
Just
the way.
my throat.
Many were wondering about the vlog and how it's going to sound with Nick's voiceover. I think we're all anticipating how great it's going to sound.
Yeah, even more stuffed up than usual.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
But the Maui Invitational will have Auburn and North Carolina tonight.
Auburn, who famously won yesterday.
Against Iowa State.
Why do you got to do this to me? I already feel bad.
Hey, look, the Bills.
Also, Iowa State will play Dayton today in the Maui Invitational.
They better
Nice.
win.
Nice.
I have a Husker topic alert for you, Josh.
Is this the text or the tweet that we got?
No, what is it? What's
Okay.
the tweet say?
There was one, let's see, from Casey. Easiest way to fix Raiola on offense is to remove checkdowns from the pass game. He's Sam Keller 2.0.
Remove checkdowns?
No more checkdowns.
Do you have any idea how dumb you sound right now?
Sorry, Casey.
Let's remove the safety net. Untether yourself.
Yeah.
Throw balls down the field.
Hey, they removed the safety net in Batman Forever, and then Robin's parents died. It led him to becoming a superhero. So, vis-a-vis, Dylan Raiola, without the safety net, superhero.
And Christian Bale did remove the tether from him when he had to climb out of the gulag.
That's true.
And-
That's
but-
true.
You know, the first time he had the tether attached to him and he broke his back and then had to
Mhm.
rehabilitate himself
Mm-hmm.
before eventually saving the city.
Yeah.
Mr.
All
Untether
of
Yourself is asking Dylon to tether himself.
I think it's in this case, it's a good thing to have a tether.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whole question?
It's a good thing to have a tether in
Yeah,
this case.
it definitely is.
Well, let's go to Matt Rule from yesterday's press conference.
Okay.
I believe the question was from our dear friend who will join the show a little bit later on today, Stephen M. Sipple. Hey, why, what would you say the main difference is? Why is your offense good now when it wasn't good before?
Yeah.
Like, what is
Yeah.
it
Great
scored
question.
44 points and put up yards and yards and yards of offense, and it actually looked good and coherent. Why was the question to Matt Rule, and here's how he responded.
I think Dana's done an amazing job. Let me start there. But I think if you say it's the play call, you hear Dana on the headset the whole time. He's just talking about execution. Like the guys who practiced the best on Thursday last week played. Some guys had some false starts and some mistakes on Thursday. He's out. 13, you're in. Let's go. So IGC got a chance to play and he made a play in the game. So there's a real focus on execution. And when the guys execute the play calls, and so I think that was the message to the guys, like, hey, if you execute and practice at a high level, you're going to have an opportunity to play in the game, and then when you get in the game, make the most of it. And so when we had penalties, we didn't score on those drives. When we snap the ball on third down, we're going on 2, and we snap it on 1, and all of a sudden the ball's in the quarterback's hands. There's nothing he can do. But when we just settled down and just played, then guys made the plays necessary to make. So it's kind of a blend of everything we've been trying to say to them all year coming to life. Like, hey, just go execute. I think the thing Dana's done a great job of is, like I said, he's cut things down to a degree, but also he's demanding that they execute if they want to get on the field. And that's kind of how we handle things on defense. And, I think it's kind of now played over to offense as well.
So that last part about demanding things is pretty important.
Yeah.
But I think the main point there from Rule was downplaying the idea that Dana Holgerson has come in and made this gigantic impact. He's preaching the same things that they were preaching before. It's just that now, for some reason, the players are executing better. Do you buy that?
Well, the last part, though, it sticks with me. It's what we've been doing on defense, and now we're doing it on offense. So that brings up the question that I would ask is, like, why? Why were you doing it on one side of the ball, which for their faults, for all the faults on defense, which they've definitely had them, they have been the more consistent group over the course of 23 games in the Matt Rule era, much more consistent than the offense. So they obviously have a little more accountability over there. Why have they not had accountability on the offensive side of the ball? And does this not show Happer with a player many people have many opinions on, and that is Thomas Fidone? 2 snaps on Saturday, has a false start penalty. We don't see him afterwards. We see the other tight ends. The other tight ends are not only on the field, but they're getting targeted. They're having, copious amounts of yards gained.
Copious.
Yeah, maybe dozens.
I think
dozens.
Kircher had like 28 yards.
Dozens of yards,
Yeah.
2 dozen yards plus a few more. Something's obviously changed on that side of the ball. And it's wild to me. If you would have told me 3 weeks ago, hey, Josh, the offense is going to get better because there is more accountability,
Yeah.
I would have said, what? Like, that's all it took?
See,
Like, why was that all it took?
I think there is that. And that is a talking point in and of itself. But I like one thing that's probably not going to get talked about by Matt Rule because he has reverence for Marcus Satterfield and doesn't want to throw him under the bus and all this stuff, even though he removed him as the offensive coordinator, is Nebraska now has, and this is not just like rose-colored glasses stuff, Nebraska has an offensive coordinator who is really, really good at offensive coordinating. He is an incredible play caller. He has been known as throughout his career as one of the best play callers there is. And so for Nebraska to go from a pretty rough one to one of the best, and like with all of the things that he has on his resume in that short a period of time, I don't think it's any mistake as to why the offense, it's not just execution and it's not just demanding it. They're actually doing things differently and doing things better. But I don't think Matt Rule will talk about it that way.
No, he definitely will not. I also think that there is something to be said for a coordinator who knows how to build plays on top of each other and
sequencing.
And yeah, and I think when they line up now, barring it being, 2nd and 1 from the 1 yard line or 3rd and 15 when you have to make a throw, like, they're unpredictable. I went through the final drive that the offense had, the final touchdown drive yesterday. They get the ball with 8.5 minutes left. They're up by 12. That would have been a classic moment for some puckering and let's just try to chew clock. They go pass to start the drive. And I think by that point, Wisconsin was on their heels. And suddenly then they can run the ball a little bit more before throwing it. And I think that is playing a part in it as well.
Got an email here from the Equitable Bank inbox from John. Please explain to me why execution wasn't demanded in Rule's first 23 games.
I know, it's so weird, man. It's so weird.
That is inexcusable.
Yeah, it's so weird. So weird.
I mean, I don't know. I can't really explain that to you. Once we get through the portal and the end of the season, the bowl game, and we start to kind of look back at what happened this year, the question is going to be, what would have happened, what would have become of this team had they have made a change earlier? Had they have made a change at the offensive coordinator after, I don't know, the Illinois game? I mean, that's probably the moment, right, where you're like, ooh, what's going on here? But it continued to deteriorate as the season went along. Like, even 1 week earlier, do they beat USC if Dana Holgorsen is in place for a game before the UCLA game?
So the offense got off to a good start in the first halves of Colorado and the UTEP game. The Northern Iowa game, I didn't have really any issues with it because it's Northern Iowa.
Yep.
The Illinois game, I thought the offense was consistently at its best actually throughout that game in those first 4. And then after that, you get into that strange Rutgers and Purdue stretch. I think in hindsight, the moment, and like I was always critical of Satterfield, right? The moment that I thought that it really started showing itself in a negative capacity was the Indiana game. Now that followed an off week, but that game had zero motion, zero movement. It seemed so static and so difficult, and every yard that they gained in that one was so hard. Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, we saw Indiana just going up and down the field.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to pin it on one side of the ball.
Yeah, it really is.
Maybe that's the answer. Maybe the answer to why they didn't do it sooner is because they never felt like there was a moment for it. You know? But, to Rule's, Rule has talked about it in the way of hey, I will do whatever it takes, and I don't really care how it sounds or how it looks. Well, if that was the case, then maybe he knew that, hey, this is not trending in a good direction and something should have happened a little bit earlier. And he didn't have to wait for the right moment, because I don't think anybody was particularly surprised. Well, maybe they were surprised that Dana Holgorsen was put in place when he was put in place, but that the move to move Marcus Satterfield out after the UCLA game before the bye week and then into the USC game, I mean, that made a lot of sense just because of the timing of the entire thing.
Yeah, and whereas I mentioned the Indiana game, that followed the off week. So, you probably weren't going to do so there. And look, maybe Happer, it is easy to say, they should have done it after this game or this game or this game. maybe it needed to deteriorate to such a degree that Rule felt like it was the only recourse that he had, barring it being back in January. But if they would have brought him in January, he wasn't going to be the play caller. He was going to be the analyst because he wasn't ready to move on from Satterfield yet. I think that the hope was that they were going to have Glenn Thomas, they were going to have Satterfield, and that they were not going to have a quarterback situation that had deteriorated like it did in 2023. And I think he wanted to give him another chance. I just don't think that he saw it going as poorly as it did.
Jeff writes in on the text line.
Hi, Jeff.
Back up the Brinks truck for Holgo the Oko.
Holgo the Oko. Now, remember, some of this will be offset by his Houston salary.
Mm-hmm.
So,
whatever it is, Nebraska needs to make sure they keep him here.
They can do. I think they can do that financially. It just comes down to, is there a head coaching job out there that offers him a gig? I think that's what it comes down to more than anything else.
Yep, no doubt about it. Zach emails in.
Hi, Zach.
Zach of many emails.
Many emails.
Says there's an obvious improvement with offensive play calling, and isn't Nebraska's point total versus Wisconsin right in line with Holgerson's career average? Rule is just running cover for Satterfield. I kind of feel like that's the case too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously not trying to throw his guy under the bus, who he still respects, but that's part of the deal. I mean, you got to find out who's made for the right spot, and they had the opportunity to go get Dana Holgerson at that time, and so maybe the response should be, well, at least they did it, right? Because I mean, that's
where I'm at with this whole move, man. Like, we all need to give Matt Rule his flowers for making this move when for years we have asked the coach to fire the coordinator or position coach that we all thought was holding them back. He did it. He did it in season, and then he didn't just bring in some random guy. He brought in a former head coach and a really renowned play caller. And it's already showed itself.
Maybe you're sitting there at the blackjack table and you're kind of observing, or maybe you're sitting at the roulette table. Let's do roulette, and you're kind of observing. You're seeing how the spins are going.
Yeah.
You decide to hold off for one more hand, one more spin, and it hits your number. You're like, oh, dang, I should have been in on that one.
Yeah.
Dang, I should have been in on that one. Or you pull, money off of the bet on the table before you go. Like, maybe we should just be, well, I'm glad I had something on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I had something on it. And that's, I don't know, I kind of feel like that's where Nebraska's at. You just hope that it didn't. I mean, obviously it's salvageable because what they did against Wisconsin,
it shows that they made the right move.
It shows they made the right move.
Like, it's now it is inarguable.
They're back. Like, I mean, the consternation about Dylan Raiola leaving was at a peak going into the most recent game, the Wisconsin game.
1 week ago today, people were really, really worried about it.
And now there's no concern about it anymore.
I would agree.
There's very little concern about it anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if that's what this was all about, then, the job is kind of done that way.
Yeah.
What's the
he held up concern.
Oh, Josh has got the concern sign.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're gonna have overreaction coming up during the show.
I'm looking forward to it.
Anything in the comments, Josh?
Well, there was one. I always argue with listener Jimmy because I feel like Jimmy has weird questions like this one. If Parker stops Dana on Friday, are we still super high on Dana? Like, yes. The answer is, like, are you going to change your opinion on Dana Holgerson if Iowa has a solid day versus Nebraska's offense?
To me, I thought it was clear the difference he made, and it wasn't just like guys executing better. In the USC game,
I know, even though
he was here for 4 days.
Yeah, even though they scored 13 points, like, you can't be a believer in Jimmy then gets mad. Did you read my next comment, Josh? Yes, Jimmy.
Read them all, Josh.
I'm reading the first comment. Read more of my comments. Have better comments, Jimmy, and maybe I will. But if you're a believer in the process, and by the way, he says, I'm speaking for the fan base. The fan base is so quick to jump to conclusions. I don't know what that means. I personally, if you're a believer in the process over just the result, I'm with you about the USC game. Only 13 points, and yet I thought the offense looked fairly well. If they struggle versus Iowa, it is what it is. And like my thought right now,
it's about how it looks, right? Is it comfortable? Does it make like are they doing the things that would lead to scoring points?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a process oriented thing. It's like it's a vibes thing, sort of.
Yeah, and then
the vibes were just horrendous with the offense before Dana Holgerson.
And then are you hoping that after a full off season of really being able to learn the playbook. Dana Holgerson actually learning the names of his players.
That helps.
That those things are going to result in the offense being better / more consistent on a week in, week out basis.
All right. I want to hear from you guys, 402-951-1620, either on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline, or you can call or text that number. You can tweet at us. We are here at Circa Hotel, Resort, and Casino.
Oh, yeah.
Emphasis on casino.
Oh, yeah.
Emphasis on casino.
Did you guys watch
Indeed.
Casino on your
No,
trip?
but we were quoting it last night.
And Connor had no idea.
We were quoting Casino
my
last
bad.
night?
We were quoting Vegas Vacation. I'm
The
tired.
premier Vegas.
Yeah.
No, it's still Hangover.
That's right.
It's still Hangover.
Yeah, Hangover's really, really.
I've long had the opinion. Many co-hosts who I've had on various shows have disagreed with me on this. I want to get your opinion. Maybe we hold this for a topic alert.
Okay.
Here's the question.
All right.
Is The Hangover a culturally significant movie?
Oh, okay. I will think about this during the break.
All right, think about it. Everybody else could think about it as well. We are back after this, but first I'd like to remind you about our zone deal this week. It's to Churco, located 192nd and Q with an ever-evolving menu. Churco is a dynamic fine dining experience. This week's zone deal, 2 $25 vouchers, which is a $50 value for just $25. On sale Friday at 9, 1620thezone.com. All right, a couple texts coming in. You don't see this very often. Put this in the you don't see this very often category.
Okay.
From the 319.
Oh,
Nick?
Mike from Eastern Iowa.
Nick, any thoughts on the 319?
I have no thoughts on the 319. I think I know one person with that area code
You're a 712 guy, right?
for life.
For life.
Where's my 712s at?
All right. If you get the 712s, get in the chat. Where are my 712s in
Western
the chat?
Iowa. Let's go.
This is Mike from Eastern Iowa. Donnie Raiola and his offensive line aren't getting enough credit from the fan base. The O-line has gradually improved throughout the year.
John put Donnie on his cream team yesterday.
I put Donnie on my cream team. I feel like I've been in a constant state of defending Donnie for the last 2 years.
Donnie.
Why do people just want to? Why do people just want to fire this guy all the time? I don't really understand it.
I think some of it is reverse nepotism.
Yeah, they think that he's only here because of Dylan.
That is a part of it. Also,
he is here on his merits.
His original hiring was also heavily criticized, including by yours truly.
Yeah, but that was like that's
a
skeleton
of the Scott Frost era.
Yes.
It's a sin of Scott Frost.
I think they landed on something pretty good there.
I think that they're improving.
Yeah.
I definitely think that they're improving. I'm curious to see what happens when it's not a bunch of older guys in that room for sure.
I'm just glad that we can go through it. You know, we've now progressed in society into we're not constantly having the conversation. Someone's not coming up to me after every game and saying, well, how are you supposed to do anything if the offensive line can't block anybody?
Yeah, exactly.
They actually can block
nice.
people.
It's nice. Charles writes, married a 712. I like the idea of saying you married somebody based on their area code. I married a 402.
I married a 402.
Look at us, the 402 boys.
Nice. I'm dating a 402.
Nick's dating a 402.
Wait, is she a 402?
Whoa. Nick, that's the most important
You don't know your girlfriend's
question.
phone number?
Yeah.
I actually don't.
What
I don't have that
generation
anymore.
are you?
Wow.
He's
Yeah.
Gen Z. Many people
She was a
commenting.
402.
Many people commenting in the chat about listener Jimmy and his questions coming in. Kenneth writes, really glad he blocked me. What a crybaby. And then added, oh, is Jimmy whining again? Big shock. And then there's a debate on if I enjoy our listeners. For the record, I love our listeners.
You do.
I love our listeners.
This is on the record.
Yeah. I will say it loud
You just
and
don't
proud.
like stupid questions.
I just don't like stupid questions. That's what it is.
I speak. I
have no vendetta because he said I have a vendetta against him. There's no vendetta. John asks stupid questions. And you know what I say to John? That's a stupid
You're
question.
an idiot.
Exactly.
Yeah. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean I hate you.
No, exactly.
Brandon says, married me in 816.
What's 816?
What is 816?
What's that? What is that Chicago?
816 is Kansas City.
Oh, I love a Kansas City.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very
What
interesting.
if you married
Nice good
somebody?
Kansas City woman.
What if you married someone from another country? Don't they have like weird
Plus something.
something? Yeah.
You got to put that country code in there.
I made a plus 42.
They had to get like WhatsApp to talk to each other or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. We also got another text. It's a topic alert.
Oh,
So if you guys, by the way, if you send any questions with topic alert,
we'll answer.
we'll just rip
Yeah.
through them throughout
Yeah.
the entire day today. Tony,
What's up, Tony?
this might be something that takes us some time.
Uh-oh.
Where do you guys see changes happening on the football staff? If Dana stays with the current rules, what position group will he coach, or will he just be the OC? I think Sat, EJ, Baby Boy, and White will be gone. That's what Tony's.
I agree with some of those names. Now,
This is definitely a topic alert.
yeah, we also have a topic alert that we have been dabbling in.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
if we're going to do it, I think we're going to have to do it tomorrow because tomorrow is one long, 7-hour block.
Yeah.
And so if we're going to do it, tomorrow's the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have stuff for this afternoon.
Yeah. Okay. Barthel, yes. Tony White, yes.
Yes on gone.
Yes on gone.
Okay.
Tiny Baby Boy, no. Tiny Baby Boy back, folks. I would also add Ed Foley gone. Satterfield gone. What am I at, 4? Is that 4 coaches? And I think we should keep an eye on maybe 1 or 2 others.
Who take better jobs?
Yeah.
Who take different
Who
jobs?
take different or better jobs.
Yeah,
I'm worried.
A lot of buzz about Tony White over the last few days. That's for sure.
Yeah, Headley says, where's Tony White going after the Iowa game? I think somewhere else. I do not think, and
I'm starting to get the sense that he will not be here next year. Yeah.
Jimmy said, stupid question, Headley. I don't think it is a stupid question, Jimmy. I think that's a very good question.
Look at you.
actually.
You just have a vendetta against Jimmy.
Well, it's a good question, though. Well, Headley writes, Jimmy, I hope you drop your toothbrush in the toilet. Wow. But no, I've been on record for months now. I think Tony White's gone. I think that the vibe on that side of the ball has been odd to say the least all year. And what was the quote that Tony White had last week about like, I'm doing what the big man says or something like that. You remember that quote?
Yep.
I don't know. I hear that
Whatever
quote
he says goes.
Yeah, I'm like, interesting. I think that the defense has looked different this year, and I wonder aloud to myself, and I will wonder aloud on the radio, how much of that is him versus how much of that is his head coach on why they have changed things on that
Well,
side of the ball.
and things got off to a weird start at the start of the season with the defensive backs coach whose name is now escaping me.
Butler.
But
Mr.
the guy before
Cooper.
him, Evan Cooper, getting ousted, and then John Butler taking over. So it kind of got off to a weird start.
It did. Because it was like, oh, that's the new guy. That's the new guy.
Right. And then people immediately thought, well, if Tony White has a good year and he is gone to take a head coach job after this year, then John Butler can just slide in. Since then, Nebraska defensively has added Phil Snow, who has coordinated many a Matt Rule defense throughout his time.
But he's also old.
Another possible person who would have the credentials to coordinate a defense on Nebraska's defensive staff.
And remember, that was who Rule won initially, but Phil Snow said, I'm too old. Sorry, coach.
But he's here now.
I'm too old. And now he is here. There was a question.
Jimmy says, by the way, I'm scared to ask anything anymore.
Jimmy, ask your questions. We're happy to answer them. Just make them better. Charles writes, Glenn Thomas. Glenn Thomas was a coach we didn't mention when we were going through the coaches.
I don't know.
I have zero vibe on that
I
one.
don't
No
either.
intel either. Whereas these other ones are based partly on vibes and partly on intel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing for you there. I got nothing. It wouldn't surprise me, I guess, just given the changes. I guess here would be the question that I ask. How much autonomy does Holgo the Oko has as the Oko?
Yeah.
What kind of power does he have?
I mean, because the original part of the question that we're answering was like, what does Holgo do? He is the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the offensive coordinator. And if he's not, he's a head coach somewhere else at the Power 5 level. So he'll be here. At least that's what I'm sort of planning on for next year. And then you're right. What does he want to do to build his staff? Because, I mean, the results would tell you that he's going to have some autonomy to do whatever it is he feels is necessary on the offensive side of the ball. And it's a guy who's hired people before and knows people and knows what he's looking for and all of those things. So maybe there's a little bit of that as well. But I do think there's going to be some turnover.
Debo, the Creighton fan, trying to sow some, is it discontent? That's the word, right?
Yeah, what's going on?
Everyone's sure OU job is not an option. So, Debo, here's why I am thinking that Holgo will be the full-time Oko next year. I just don't think that they would have made this move if there weren't some assurances that it was going to last more than 3 games.
Little backdoor deal.
Josh, it just would stun me if that were to happen. Now, if it doesn't, there will be no tomatoes, there will be no hats, there will be no eggs. But I would be very surprised if he wasn't the OC next year.
Me too.
But maybe I'm an idiot.
I don't think he would come on if it was just, hey, let's fix things up for 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you building toward? Every coach wants to build towards something, right?
You just really needed that 600,000 or whatever it was.
No, he doesn't. He's making millions of dollars to not coach at Houston.
I guess
right
the only
now.
other thing would be Matt Rule really, really, really wanted 1 extra win this year so people would get off his back. Like, is it just about the 6th win, right? But no, I think that. I mean,
the whole reason that Holgerson wasn't here earlier in the first place is because he wanted to coordinate an offense. That's why he ended up at TCU.
And now,
just do nothing.
To be an analyst for defense for some reason.
To do nothing.
Yeah.
And then got plucked out of there and took the immediate first opportunity.
Yeah.
And like I said, like if they have success, and they did so against Wisconsin, and they might against Iowa, and they might in a bowl game, that's something to build off of and have the positive vibes and all of those things. Okay. By the way, people texting in their area codes, tweeting in their area codes.
Oh, perfect. Oh, that reminds us of the Scott Frost helmet situation as well.
El Scorcho.
Oh, what's up, El Scorcho?
Talking weird wife area codes. I married a 603 girl.
603. What's the 603?
I don't know.
Mr. Rick asks, is 531 for millennials?
Yes.
531 is
if you just got a phone yesterday. 603 is in New Hampshire.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh. Married a New Hampshire gal. Interesting.
Classic.
Got
yourself a New Hampshire girl.
Classic. Oh, by the way, to answer your question.
602.
Culturally significant?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
I agree.
I think so.
I agree. Oh, 602 is Phoenix.
Wow, CJ says it's not cheating if you're in a different area code. CJ, that's not the way to think.
Wow.
That's messed up,
That's not the
CJ.
way to think, CJ.
Be better.
The Hangover represents. I think that it assisted Vegas in being back. Think of how many people came to Vegas after that, went to Caesars, and said, "Did Caesar live here?"
Many people on many sides.
Many people on many sides. Think of how
I
many
bet people in Vegas hated the Hangover.
Think of how many people dressed their baby up as Carlos.
Not at the
baby.
table, Carlos.
Think of how many people said, "Thanks a lot, Bin Laden."
I love that quote. That's a great quote.
That's a great one. It just saw all of the things in Vegas and said, wow, that looks fun. Let's not get stuck on a roof. And that's it. I think it's a culturally significant movie, although a couple of my previous co-hosts might disagree.
Wow.
Mike Schaefer.
Well, Schaeff has bad opinions. Sometimes our listeners have bad opinions, but there's no vendetta against
Mike
them for
Tyson.
bad opinions.
Mike Tyson. Is the Hangover? I thought of the Hangover. when I was watching
Reinvigorated
that
his whole career.
Stupid, idiotic Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight. That
Tough
one
look
night.
for you that you watched it.
I tried to, but I couldn't because Netflix was broken.
Let's hope they get it.
So I had to go on meth streams and Antonio Brown's Twitter. But we figured it out somehow. And I thought, wow, Mike Tyson, The Hangover, Tigers. And guess what?
What?
Jake Paul, the idiot. He walked out of the locker room to guess what song? In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins.
That's a reference to
The Hangover.
Wow.
Still, to this day, a culturally relevant movie. Thank you.
Text from the 202. Still this station's one and only 202. That's Washington, D.C.
Let's go.
Wow, why do you assume you're our only 202?
Maybe President T listens to the show.
Oh.
He loves Nick Grimm.
I love Nick. Nick has such good takes. We agree on many things.
Plus, Happer, speaking of President T, now that he's back, I think you're allowed to say words that we thought were gone by the wayside that were said in
Let's
the Hangover.
not say them on the radio.
Nick, you go first.
They're on shirts now?
They're on shirts.
I see it on Twitter way more now than I did a month ago.
You most certainly do.
Now,
Yes.
how about
you do.
this? A funny comment from listener Jimmy.
Oh,
from
this is
now
good.
on,
Oh,
a bad take or question will be called a Jimmy Palmer. Jimmy, that is objectively hilarious.
Well
Are you
done.
going to do that, though?
Yes. I'll say, don't ask a Jimmy Palmer question. Come on now. I think that's very funny. That's very funny. Travis, Josh, I dare you to find an idiot take that I've shared with the Grum. I have great takes. Some would say the best takes. Travis has some pretty rough takes.
Travis has a lot of takes, so it's hard to keep track.
Many takes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's like a radio host in that regard. Just takes all the time.
That's great. Maybe you should do a podcast
It's like-
or something.
What was that Game of Thrones quote? Anyone who has to say they're a king is not a king. Anyone who has
nice-
to say they have
nice,
good takes
Nick.
has bad takes.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Wow.
Sal, here's a topic alert. If a Jimmy Palmer is a drink, what is in it?
It's that weirdo mix.
Oh,
I'll have a
It's
Jimmy
the-
Palmer.
Hey, Josh went to the bar and said, "I'd like an old fashioned, please." And then a guy went behind and he grabbed a big tub and he dumped it into a cup.
and then he threw
And
an
then
orange
he
in
threw
there.
a whole orange in there. And Josh was like, "This is the worst."
This is
I was-
Vegas.
I was so disappointed.
But it was, we had like free drink coupons.
Yeah.
People were just. You should have seen us. We were rocking the sports book. People come up to us and they said, "You guys have been here all day, and I know you're going to be here all night. Take all my free drink tickets."
Yeah.
So we took them.
Hello.
After
But then I wasn't able to use one yesterday because it's only for Sunday.
well, you weren't, but I
but
was.
Nick and Happer.
I also was.
This is unreal.
So after you guys went up to your rooms on Sunday, the guy came back.
Real quick, Odson made a poster of me versus listener Jimmy Beaver Vendetta.
Vendetta.
That's funny. Nick, what were you saying?
Oh, after you guys had gone up to your rooms, the guy came back with another stack of them. And he looked, and he kind of looked at me, but then he looked next to me, saw you weren't there, looked like a sad puppy, and just kind of sat
Damn,
down.
he was about to give us more.
When was this?
After you guys already went up.
What? Oh, on Sunday
Yeah.
for halftime? Well, that's a bummer.
Wow. Yeah, I went. I felt bad because they have these free drink tickets, and I know it's a casino, but we still the bartenders still have to work and make
Yeah, that's
money.
why it's good that I have ones.
And so you go up there and you're like, "Hey," you go up there 8 times in a row, and you're like, "I got this free drink ticket," and they're like,
You again?
"All right, whatever."
Put in a ticket, got a drink.
So last night,
Nice, Nick. Good reference.
last night I told the guy on my last free drink ticket, I said, "Next one I'm paying." Guess what I never did? Went up to the bar again.
Nice.
Whoa! I'm sorry, Josh. I know, you're offended.
More
Yeah.
comments coming in. Headley writes, 1 ounce despair, 1 ounce sadness, 3 children's tears, dash of, is it Tajin? And a
Tajin.
double shot of well vodka, the Jimmy Palmer.
I do like Tahini a lot.
Nick, go up and order that and see what happens.
They'll probably look at me.
Maybe that's some good
Be like,
content, somebody.
Oh.
If each 1620 The Zone host was a drink, what would
that
would
Oh,
be the ingredients of the
alert.
drink?
The sun! Oh! Hey, somebody wanted to know how many liquid IVs have we had today. 0 for your boy.
I've never had a liquid IV.
I drink regular water.
I don't get hungover. I just apparently get air sick.
By the way, one more thing before we.
That's called the COVID, Nick.
Oh no.
Air
The
sick.
OG 06.
I get air
Air
sick.
sick.
The odd news is coming up next. I have now seen a video from the MGM Garden Grand Arena.
Yeah.
Of by our dear friend John Walker, the Omaha World Herald, who is in town and he's covering the Bluejays. A video depicting Stephen Ashworth moving around, doing basketball-related things,
Dribbling.
shooting, doing some things.
A fadeaway back shot.
Good news is our boy is alive.
Interesting.
And it
That's big.
seems as if the ankle sprain is maybe not as severe as we once thought.
People thought he got shot in the ankle the other day, and now he's walking again.
Yeah, Nebraska fans, you can now fully enjoy the win on Friday because Stephen Ashworth is alive.
Jack Mitchell made a joke on the live stream that we were doing, and then he felt bad, like he had to walk it back. Now I think he can feel good about the joke again.
Congrats.
We know his ankle's fine, but how's the mono situation?
Oh, great question.
He
Nick.
doesn't have that.
Great question.
He doesn't have that.
Shout out to Nick for
He's
that
got that
reference.
dad strength.
If I
Shout
lay
out
on the
boy
floor
Steven.
and scream, they won't make me play the final 10 minutes.
Hey, no, that's not what he said. He was hurt. All right, we'll be back. We have the odd news.
Lovely.
Another segment that Josh gets to participate in.
Yes.
Coming up on 1620 The Zone.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
That is right. It is time for the odd news. Come on up, little kids. Sing Pearl Jam with us. Which song do you want to sing first? Jeremy? All right, we'll do that. No, Better Man. That's a good one, too. Josh, what do we got today?
Well, these are all food stories, so I must have been hungry when I was pulling stories for the odd news.
I'm starting to get hungry too, Josh.
Whoa. Okay. It's late breakfast, maybe a brunch over there for you guys?
I mean, I'm still kind of on Omaha time. I'll be honest.
Sure.
So
I ate.
Yeah?
I ate.
You're not going to have lunch?
He never has lunch. He hasn't had
That's
lunch
true. You
in,
don't
like,
ever eat
years.
lunch. Yeah, that's
Once
true.
again, time. It's all a construct here.
Indeed it is.
Indeed it was. Week 13 of the college football season had plenty of upsets. Auburn beat A&M in a quadruple overtime thriller. Another one in the SEC was Oklahoma stunning Alabama 24-3. Imagine Alabama not scoring a touchdown. As such, the SEC landscape likely to change. Oklahoma was fined for storming the field, but it was still worthy of celebration as Brent Venables and his family after the game went to Taco Bell and spent $94.
$94 on Taco Bell.
I believe we call that the Nick Grimm.
Oh,
I don't know.
That's a lot of money.
I don't think so.
Maybe $9.40. That's a lot of money.
He said, we went to Taco Bell Saturday night after the win. Me and my daughters spent $94.
How many daughters are we talking here?
I believe it's 2. The most expensive combo at Taco Bell in Norman is $11.39. That would be the Chicken Chalupa Supreme combo, according to their website.
Wait, did you do this? Did you do this research, Josh?
No, it was in the article I pulled.
Oh,
Very good research, though.
Apparently, yeah.
So you're going to have at least $60 of Taco Bell in your refrigerator in the morning. Not good.
No.
Not what you want.
No, it's definitely not.
Because that stuff's never going to get eaten.
No, unless you throw it in the air fryer right away.
I can eat $60 worth of Taco Bell.
Can you eat $94 worth of Taco Bell?
I think I could try.
Can you say indeed it was?
Yeah.
Indeed it was.
Charles writes, how much rice can you buy at Taco
Great
Bell?
question.
Mm-hmm.
You get one of those bowls, those power bowls.
Taco Bell has rice, right?
Yeah.
They still have they still do the nacho fries there.
I don't know if those are in season anymore.
Those fries were pretty good. I like those fries.
They only do them like a month every year.
It's like the McRib.
Yeah, but better.
You know, I don't know about these fast food restaurants doing, you could get tacos from Pizza Hut and pizza from Taco Bell and, chicken from Pork Town.
Well, people say that
You don't
some of
like
the best
pizza,
fried
chicken?
chicken are in the Omaha metro areas from Pizza
Ranch.
Pizza Ranch. They have the best
not
fried
true.
chicken. That's what people say.
Pizza Ranch has good chicken.
Pizza Ranch chicken is fine, but it's not.
I've
the
never
best
had it
in
before.
town.
I've never had it before.
If we
Pizza
could
Ranch
just
catered. Sorry.
go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
Pizza Ranch catered my graduation party, my high school graduation party.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. He is from Iowa, after all.
Connor, I'd
Yeah.
like to explore the menu of Pork Town a little further.
Pork Town.
To Tube City.
Their mascot is John Pork. Nick, you know about John Pork?
I love John Pork.
All right, it's on the internet. Don't look up John Pork on the internet. It's gonna freak you out.
Oh, that's a real.
we go
thing.
to
I don't know about
we go to
John Pork.
China for story number 2.
China.
It's getting crazy at Pizza Hut in China. Now, you got to understand, it's a different culture. They put different things on their pizza. Different types of proteins are more readily available than proteins here in America.
Okay.
I give you the Goblin Pizza. We'll have to change a couple things on the stream here. The Goblin Pizza.
Oh, my gosh.
If you're watching with us on zonetv.live, which you always should be,
Yeah.
that fried thing on top of the pizza,
Is that the chicken?
that's a frog.
Oh.
Those are 2 eggs for eyes with olives on top.
All right, this is. I've seen enough.
Now, that's the corporate photo that they've sent out. I have a photo of the actual Goblin Pizza as it
Oh,
was sent to
no!
customers.
Oh no!
Jesus! Why does it have such a big butt? Caked up.
Got them dumps, baby. Oh man!
Hey, Nick Grimm ate a rabbit last night.
I did. I had to write in rabbit.
Did he know he was eating a rabbit?
That's why I ordered it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have video of him taking a bite of the rabbit.
The problem was he didn't know how to say farfalle,
I didn't.
and he didn't know what farfalle was.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I've never
He was like,
seen
"What's
that word
far?"
Farfalle or
Yeah.
whatever
What
it
is
was.
this?
You know what I
The
grew
noodle?
up hearing that as?
Yeah, the noodle, the
Bow
bow tie
tie
pasta. Yeah.
or butterfly pasta.
Sure.
I've never heard falafel.
It's farfalle and rabbit. The rabbit farfalle was good. Yes.
Yes, it was good. It was a special sauce, and there was wild mushrooms and peas.
Headley writes, "Nice thighs." Deba writes, "Fellas," and Charles says that frog is thick.
Frog
Damn!
acting up.
Oh man! Ah, Tim, OnlyFans pizza.
Why was that frog so caked up?
Yes, seriously, what's going on there, Froggy Frog?
And finally, we go to, I believe this is New York Sports Radio.
Oh, we love New York sports radio.
That's right. ESPN Radio's Chris Carlin
Yep.
said he doesn't trust many people in his life, but those issues do not apply when it comes to Chick-fil-A employees. On yesterday's Carlin versus Joe show, Carlin somehow managed to turn a recent experience at Chick-fil-A into a hilarious segment. Carlin said, "The amount of people I trust in my life at a high level, I could probably count on one hand. And it just so happens that a group of people that I trust is the people who run the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A."
That's facts, though. You know, have you ever gotten a wrong order there?
I have not.
No.
Yeah.
And
Have you ever felt the need even to look inside of the bag when you get the Chick-fil-A?
No, but to be fair, I only feel like I need to at like 2 fast food joints. Most of the places I feel pretty comfortable with.
And that
Is there one in particular
There-
that serves chicken?
Yep. But you know what? They do a great job of cooking the food.
And you may have died of old age while trying
No, dude,
get it?
I'm gonna run by it again later. At Circus Circus, they have a food court, and there's a Popeyes there.
You're not going to get Popeyes in the Circus food
I'm
court.
not, but I was dreaming about it.
Hey, excuse me, sir. Can I time how long it takes you from order to
Oh.
receipt of your order?
Man,
It's for content.
it is for content.
If I get
yeah.
a wrong order to drive through, I just deal with it.
Oh yeah.
I like writing a sternly written email to the company, and then you get free food after that.
Nice.
I love doing that. Hey, they messed up my order, and they're like, "Sorry, here's $10."
Nothing's going to fix your problem in the immediate, right?
No,
So
exactly.
you might as well get some
Right.
reparations afterwards.
That's definitely what that word is for. Carlin went on the show to say, "The amount of trust I have, I don't even have to look in the bag, and I know they got the order right."
Damn right.
And I can't say this about most places. Honestly, I don't have kids, but if I did, pretty sure I would trust the Chick-fil-A drive-thru folks to take care of them for a few hours.
Poll question: would you trust the Chick-fil-A drive-thru folks to babysit your kids?
Thank you. You read my mind, Josh. That's why I
Put
told
it
this
up.
story.
I guess it depends on the kid, right?
Put it up.
Uh,
I'm trying to find that frog pizza. You know what I'm saying?
Headley wants to know, Josh, did that frog drop its link in the bio?
All right, Josh. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh.
You, Josh, and Connor.
That is the odd news. The noon hour is coming up because it's noon.
That's
Yes,
right.
it is.
Remember?
Famously, it's lunchtime, folks.
Jays basketball coming up at the bottom of the hour. Plenty to come here from Circa next on 1620 The Zone. All right, welcome back, Connor Happer, Josh Peterson, Josh Odson, Nick Grimm here on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Just 30 minutes before coverage of Creighton basketball begins here on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg, also in Omaha, where Creighton will be taking on San Diego State.
Seems like Creighton fans are triggered about this matchup, Happer. They're
Very familiar with San Diego
very
State.
stressed. Very stressed.
Many NCAA tournament games and painful one.
Oh, yeah.
One specific.
Indeed it was.
Not good. Not
Indeed
good.
it was.
Just want to look a little bit different and feel a little bit different. We were just game planning our next couple days here.
Yeah.
We have to basically smash all of Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday shows, both of our shows, into one mega show
Plus,
tomorrow.
we have the topic alert that might make a large portion of Husker
Yes.
fandom really mad, and then another portion, thank you for doing this. Everyone was already talking about it anyway.
So we're gonna grunt the slate tomorrow.
Yep.
I have an opinion tomorrow.
Yep. We got to get fired up for football tomorrow.
Fired up
because that's a
football.
sponsored segment.
We got to make.
Are we doing keys and peas?
Keys and peas.
/ key party? Hype
Gosh,
video?
I have to at least think about
Yes,
the
Josh.
game for more than 10 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest. If we want to punt on something, we can punt on keys.
Keys. No keys.
No keys tomorrow.
The key is win the
Yeah,
damn ball
look,
game.
At a hotel, this is your key. This doesn't make any noise. It's just it's plastic.
Yeah,
you
where's
can't
my
do
key?
keys with this kind of key.
Where's my key?
Yeah.
What's my key have on it?
Yeah.
Ooh, I've never even taken this out of the little container yet.
What in the world? Did you get a thing of champagne too? Man, I went and checked in at the wrong
I
spot.
got free champagne.
Man, I checked in at the wrong spot.
Wow.
Check it
Guys
out,
popping
guys.
bottles.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Do you get a whole bottle of champagne?
I think it's a glass.
I probably just a little flute,
Okay.
a champagne flute, because I'm a cultured
That's
man.
where you're staying.
That's the hotel
Yep.
that you could see from the sky when you're on the airplane.
Oh man, so cool.
Yep.
So cool.
It's fantastic.
So we got all that coming up tomorrow.
By the way, we have an opinion in advance of I have an opinion.
I'm so excited for this segment.
This
A
is from-
pre-opinion?
Yeah, this is from Cody on the text line.
Hi, Cody.
Cody says, I have an opinion. Nick should rest his voice the rest of the day.
Oh wow.
Nick, don't talk. You talk.
Yeah, you got to rest it, Nick.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to do content later?
Yeah, I'll do content.
All right, I haven't written any content questions,
I'm a
Nick.
pro.
Nick,
Well,
you
Nick
haven't
writes
written
them.
any content questions yet.
Yeah, Nick
So we'll do
writes
that. Dave Fight says, topic alert, if I set the over-under for NU Bowl game opt-outs at 2.5, where would you place your money? And I do know he added a caveat yesterday when he did this poll question. Transfers out don't count.
Injuries
They do
don't
not-
count also.
They do not. Yes. So it has to be a true, I am not playing in the bowl game because of my draft stock. It has to be that. To which
I think
would
there's
then say,
one certainly, right?
who's that?
Tommy Hill.
Yeah.
Tommy.
Yeah, I mean, they basically already announced that one, right? But
Yeah, does that count?
aren't they kind of hiding behind an injury?
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of making a fool of himself a little bit.
Yeah, remember that USC game?
Ouch.
So I would say he does not count. I would say it has to be someone who is playing right now who does not play,
By the
but
way,
it's not going into the portal.
Down in Lincoln, Tony White is having
Uh-oh.
a press conference.
What did he say? Did he say, I have an opinion? Deuces.
He's up there. He's talking.
That's good. He still has the N on his chest.
I don't believe there's any more coordinator availability for the rest of the season.
This could be the last time.
It could be.
This could be the last time.
I like Tony.
This
I always
could
like
be
Tony.
the last time.
He knows what he's doing. I like Tony. Sure. You don't agree?
No, I do.
All right. Okay.
It's weird how bad the defense has been at times this year.
It
but
is odd.
remember how well they tackled last year?
Yeah.
What
they don't
happened
do
to the
that much
tackling?
anymore. But at least they got an offense coordinated by Dana Holgerson to score 44 points
Dude.
every game.
We don't talk enough about how Nebraska put 44 on Wisconsin and ran them off the field.
That was
Gosh, that is
awesome.
so funny.
That was
Man, it'd be
awesome.
a bummer to be a Wisconsin fan today.
Yeah.
It'd be a
They'd
real
be in
huge
big pain.
bummer. Oh, man. Imagine going into a game saying, yeah, well, at least we're not a disaster like Nebraska, and then that disaster scores 44.
Imagine being a fan of the team whose head coach's personal police officers felt the need to attack Donnie Raiola,
An offensive line coach.
an offensive line coach,
Very tough look.
for words that he may or may not have said.
Tough look for all involved.
All right, so we got a topic alert.
Mm.
We got probably about 10 or so minutes left in this segment before we'll talk a little Jays before we get out of here, right?
Oh, wow. So NFL reaction, overreaction is canceled.
Crap!
Not
We can
enough
do a
show.
topic alert. Yeah, we're running out of
Well,
show.
there was a topic alert email from Joe yesterday. You remember that email about the bowl games?
Yes.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to do NFL reaction over?
I mean, we could save NFL reaction overreaction. That's fine.
We could do it in the afternoon show.
Yeah, exactly.
We could do it tomorrow.
Yeah, we have many
There's
shows remaining.
many shows.
Yeah.
So Huskers, all right. Email from Joe.
Yes.
Email from Joe. He is saying that TV revenue is everything.
Oh no.
TV revenue.
Get John on the phone. This is his kind of topic.
TV revenue is literally the only thing that matters, especially in this hypothetical situation that he's coming up with. He says TV revenue equals make-believe matchups, which are not coincidental. If you had a crystal ball, which bowl matchup on TV would TV want?
Okay.
Nebraska versus Texas A&M. Nebraska versus Oklahoma. Nebraska versus Colorado. Other ? Which matches would TV like? Granted, we might not like it. It's all about the eyeballs.
Well, of the ones that he got in there, I mean, I feel like there's
It's Colorado.
Oh, really? I was going to say Oklahoma. I thought Oklahoma was the easy pick because it's a classic rivalry. They already played Colorado this year.
Why would anybody care about Nebraska and Oklahoma this year?
Because their names are Nebraska and Oklahoma. It's like a rivalry for all rivalries. It's a classic. Old people love old stuff.
It's like a game
Colorado.
of chicken. Who gets out of it? Who tries to get out of it first?
Oh, yeah. We could call it the Scott Frost Bowl.
Colorado's still pulling rankings. Now,
No way.
the
Nebraska and
problem with-
Oklahoma would have a bigger audience.
the problem with Rado is that they're not going to have Shedeur Travis Hunter.
Correct. And they've already
They
played
ain't
him.
playing in no bowl
They already
games.
played him this year, too, so I don't think that people would be as into it. I think
that's a good
Oklahoma's
point. If it isn't
Yeah.
a playoff game, Travis and Shedeur
Oh,
are
they're
not
done.
playing.
No.
Yeah, if they don't make it to the Big 12 championship game, we are watching their last games this weekend.
That's right. Who do they play? Probably like West Virginia or
Uh,
something stupid.
Probably West Virginia or something stupid. I don't remember who it is.
What's up with that conference?
They already played Utah,
Okie
so
State.
it's not. Oh, that's weird and dumb.
Friday,
Okay.
11 a.m.
What?
Black Friday.
That's right.
Because Oklahoma State had to find a new rival. They had to find a new slant.
R.I.P. to the to Bedlam.
That's sad.
If it's not a list of teams that were included by Joe, is there another one that is like a realistic matchup that could happen that you think would draw the eyeballs of millions?
Well, we talked about the names that were sort of thrown out there. Yes. The sun is back.
Man, it feels good.
It
I
feels
like that
amazing.
sun.
It feels amazing.
It's just a little chilly.
The LSUs of the world.
What about Florida?
The Florida of the world.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, they're still like, obviously you have the helmets part, which is great.
Yeah.
But you're also, I mean, TV cares about which games are good too, right?
Sure, to some degree. But it's like bowl games, like the brands do matter a lot.
Yeah.
The brands matter. And like if there is any historical precedence with the matchup, like that's why the Oklahoma one for me is number one in terms of just raw viewership. Colorado, again, because of the lack of star power, is going to drop a little bit. But like Florida and Nebraska, they would love to talk about the 1996 Fiesta Bowl.
There would be a lot of highlights of Tommy Frazier.
Nebraska and LSU haven't played since the 80s. You know, like that would be a wholly unique matchup to modern college football.
But still helmets, brands.
Big brands, big helmets, Brian Kelly being mad all the time. Two ships passing in the night, one on the uptick, one on the downtick. You know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
You hate Brian Kelly.
I love Brian Kelly.
Oh, I thought you hated
John hates Brian
John
Kelly.
hates Brian
I'm now out on him, though. I read the story in The Athletic yesterday. Things seem bad, Happer. They're down bad down
Not
there.
surprising.
Baton Rouge.
Is there anybody else that would move the needle? Oklahoma, Colorado, LSU, Florida.
Oh, how about this from the 402?
Everybody else is in the Big Ten now, so
Yeah, Florida would be
really
good
count.
for the freshman quarterback angle. Yeah, DJ Lagway versus Dylan Raiola.
Dylan.
What are the other I mean, Nebraska, Missouri wouldn't really move
No,
the needle nationally.
I don't even want that.
What about there?
I'm a Nebraska fan. I don't even want that.
Yeah, and then like the other Big 12 potential ones are like Kansas and Kansas State. Like those would be fun, but like wouldn't move the needle nationally. I think it's Oklahoma, Florida, and LSU, and I guess Colorado, but with the caveat of
How about Nebraska and Alabama?
now that would move the damn needle. Yes, it would. Two blue bloods.
7-5 Nebraska going up against 4-loss Alabama after coming off of a loss to Auburn in the Iron Bowl.
That would be hilarious.
They're meeting up in what was the stupid bowl game that is now used to be the Outback Bowl?
Relia Quest.
Relia Quest.
I'm so triggered by this.
They are Relia Questing each other.
Yeah.
That's the same game, I believe, that Jadeveon Clowney had that hit in that one year.
It
that made his
was
career.
against Michigan when the helmet was flying in the air all over the place.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Omaha writes Alabama LOL. I don't know what we're LOLing about with Alabama.
I think he's LOLing like Nebraska's going to play Alabama in a bowl game. Hey,
if they beat Iowa,
watch out.
They are suddenly going to the top of the pecking order, and Alabama, if they don't make the playoff, would also be near the top of the pecking order.
I'm telling you, Nebraska is going to be wanted.
Hey, you want to see this too? If Alabama makes a bowl game that's not the playoff, which they will,
Opt out nation.
and they're not going to have any fans that go. Why would their fans want to go to some whack bowl game? They don't go to whack bowl games. They go to playoff games.
Here's Jeff with a comment on YouTube.
Okay.
I think there's an echo chamber going on about how much of a brand Nebraska still is.
See?
But is he saying like it's good?
No, he's saying, I think he is saying it from the.
It's overrated?
Yeah. No way.
Look
That's
at
a
the TV
Jimmy
ratings.
comment, Jeff.
Look at the TV ratings even now. Nebraska hasn't
Correct.
got a bowl game in 8 years.
I think
Look at the TV ratings.
I think sometimes, man, we get people in the chat that show up that are so down on Nebraska or don't like them that they sometimes like apply their feelings to like the rest of the country on them. There is still quite a bit of interest in Nebraska football.
A self-hating fan.
Maybe there's a
And that
difference
too.
between like Nebraska is is there a difference here that to be delineated? Nebraska is a national brand, or Nebraska has a gigantic fan base that will support everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because those both reflect in TV ratings.
Yep.
But maybe you could argue that Nebraska only has one of those, and it's not
The la-
necessarily
it's-
a national brand.
It's the latter.
It's just that they have a huge fan base that watches all their games on TV
Yeah.
and goes to all their games.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make it a national brand?
It's a good question. You know, like part of it is that they have been like so objectively terrible now. It's not even like they were
But
an
what,
8-4,
what
9-3
makes
type
you a national brand? Like what?
Yeah, just generating interest where people, I guess when I think of national brands, I think of programs that people have. I have an opinion. Many have opinions. Many care about them to the point where they want to watch their games and opine about them. I think Nebraska, like the hard part about it is that they have been sub 500 for so many years that like you haven't even had like the one-offs, you know, like where people like tune in like, oh, wow, is this the year that they're going to break through? They don't even ever have those years.
Yeah. Interesting.
Not great.
All right. Let's take a break here.
Okay.
We have one segment left.
Oh, man.
We have one segment left. But after the Creighton game, we have more segments. And
That's
then
true.
tomorrow we have 8 hours continuously worth of segments. Well, almost 8 hours, right?
7
We're off a little
hours
early.
tomorrow. I think we're off at 5 o'clock.
7 hours of commercial-free 1620 The Zone.
We should have done that.
Red Zone?
Yeah, red zone for
Red zone of
16-20.
takes?
Yeah. Oh, that would have been great. Maybe that's what we call it tomorrow, the red zone of takes, with the occasional commercial interruption.
I like Topic Alert. We're going to stick with that. Creighton is coming up at the bottom of the hour. We'll send it to John Bishop across town over at the MGM Grand. For right now, Josh and I are at Circa, and I think this is where we're going to watch the game, right? Are we just going to sit here and watch the game? Or we can go down to the book?
We certainly could. Well, we got to figure out food. Remember, we got to figure out the lunch situation.
There is a lunch
You
to
said
be
that you're
had.
not. Nick says he's going to wander. Nick is going to go talk.
We're going
to
to wander, Nick. What's up with that?
I might wander.
All
There
right.
you go.
I need some more. I need some more.
I think
Fremont Street.
Fremont. I think I want to go to that pizza place we went to last time.
All right.
I like that
They
pizza.
have pizza.
There you go. Jordan writes 7 hours of coverage for my 7-hour drive tomorrow. Great. Look at
That's
us.
right. We got you. Shout out us. We got you, Jordan.
Yep.
We will be back after this here on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
1620 The Zone is partnering with Circa Casino and Resort to hook you up with Creighton tickets. Creighton. They still have games after this. The world is not ending.
Wait, what? Even though they lost to Nebraska and Ryan Kalkbrenner only had one field goal attempt?
Yeah, and guess what? One of those games is against UConn.
Oh, baby.
We have your opportunity to win tickets to Creighton's home conference slate, all on our website on 1620thezone.com. That is courtesy of us and Circa Casino and Resort.
Speaking of Circa, Morgan in Colorado, which is the 970, texts in. Topic alert. Any bets on the Creighton game?
Morgan always asks us this.
Oh, really?
He always asks me this.
Oh, here it is. I lost on the Creighton over last night badly. That was a couple of weeks ago. Oh, yep, here's another one. Any Creighton bets tonight? Any Creighton bets tonight? Thanks for the over pick, Connor.
Let me
I
Just
think
bet
that
the over for
person's
the Creighton
looking
game.
for like, hey,
Let's ride.
Do you know anything?
Oh,
Know
okay.
anything?
I don't.
I have no takes on the
Creighton
game.
is a 4.5 point favorite.
Okay.
A number that I don't feel particularly comfortable
What are the
with.
tight money line splits for this one? We love the money line splits, don't we,
We love
folks?
the tight money
Nick
line
loves the money line.
Yeah.
Is the Creighton game up there?
I'm a big money line.
Oh, wait,
boy.
I'm looking at football right now. Where are the college games at? Oh, there they are.
College b-ball.
All right. Is the Creighton game there? Is the Creighton game there?
Nope.
Still not there. It's inside. We'll go inside and we'll find it. Are you going to bet on it?
I don't think so.
Are you allowed to?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's maybe stay away.
Tight.
That's probably for the best. Why'd you turn yourself off?
I don't. I
Nick,
Cool.
figure it out.
The tight money line splits has Creighton at minus 200,
What's San Diego State?
plus 175.
All right, there
Real.
you go.
What's San Diego State done this season?
Their Ken Palm wasn't looking too fresh as of late.
A little dusty.
Yeah.
That's not good. You don't want a dusty Ken Palm.
Pull
Whole question. Do you want
Even
to-
a dusty Ken Palm.
What's
Their offense predictably not great. Their defense predictably pretty dang good.
Sometimes
Uh,
Ken Palm's full of shit.
Whoa! There you go. They've beaten UC San Diego and Occidental
Occidental? I feel like that's where you go to get a surgery done.
and lost to Gonzaga, not
I
Gonzaga.
did see this.
Look at you're
I'm
on board.
Well, first of all, I'm not a college basketball sicko, so I'm not going to pay for Ken Palm. Second of all, John turned me on to Bart. Bart has Creighton minus 5.3, so
there's
sees
value.
He sees a little bit of value. That said, what did Bart have for them versus Nebraska? Probably Creighton. I think it was Creighton minus 9. So
Why have they only played 3 games?
San Diego State.
It's a great question. Are
Excellent
they okay?
question. Do they have COVID? Did they have COVID?
Well, they haven't played in. They
What's
haven't played in 12. No, that's not right. They haven't played in 8 days. They've had an entire week before each of their games so far this year.
Okay.
It's very odd. I don't know why they're doing that. On the FanDuel Sportsbook, Ryan Kalkbrenner's points are 19.5. Over or under 19.5. If he doesn't get a field goal, he will not score.
He will not make.
19.5.
You don't think he'll make 20 free throws?
No, I don't.
I
did not. Also, Richard Isaacs, is that his name? Richard Isaacs.
Is that a pop?
Richard Isaacs' points are 14.5.
Text from the 402. I gave my wife a rusty Ken Palm last night.
Oh, what's your wife's area code?
Did it have a frog pizza?
I gave my 515 the Rusty Ken Palm.
Rusty.
Oh my gosh!
Definitely sounds like a sex act.
Oh my gosh! Yes, it does.
Hey,
Indeed it does.
We were just talking about brands in college football.
Yeah.
Our dear friend Stuart Mandel has
friend of the Grum
has let some numbers fly from over the weekend. These are from Fox. 9.3 million for Indiana, Ohio State.
Wow.
It's
got to be the
I
most
think
people
that's-
that have ever watched an Indiana football game.
Oh,
Has to
almost
be, right?
for sure. Yeah,
Has to be.
I think it's
They've
either
never played in a game this big in the modern era.
Is that might be the second or third most watched game of the year? I mean, it's got to be pretty close.
Yeah, I think there's a couple that are above 10, like the Georgia Bama game, and then I think Georgia Texas both hit
Oregon
10 plus.
Ohio State
and Oregon Ohio State's up there too. Yeah.
And Colorado Kansas.
Yeah,
drew a big audience, and that was Fox in the afternoon,
mid afternoon. It was on the same time as the Wisconsin game.
$6.2 million still for Colorado.
That is a lot.
Pulling numbers.
That is a lot.
For two pretty mid teams.
Well, one of them now is 5-6.
Yes.
But the hottest team in football. Dude, the rest of the country's lucky that they're not going to win the conference because I think they could make a little noise. They could beat a team in the playoff.
Kansas?
Yeah, not like Ohio State or Oregon, but they could beat somebody.
Yeah.
They could get in as a wild card.
Hey, that's the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason why I find the Indiana conversation so weird. They're right in the mix with all of those top 10-ish teams.
Yeah, exactly.
They look the same.
Maybe don't lose to Oklahoma by 21 points.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do that.
So you get in based on your resume.
Maybe just score a touchdown against Oklahoma.
Not a bad idea there. Not a bad idea.
Email from John.
Hello, John.
On the actual bank inbox. Was the Cody that already gave his opinion, the Cody from the White Castle the last time you were in Vegas?
Happer's least favorite human
That
being
little
of all
kid
time.
would not stop being in the bathroom.
What do you think that kid's up to?
Probably in the bathroom at White Castle.
We walked by it last. Nick's trying to talk again in this.
The light on here is very faint.
You love
I
turning
can't
off
tell.
your microphone.
Well, it's because I've been coughing and making mouth noises.
Yeah,
and
you are
sounds.
breathing loudly.
Anyway, what about Cody, Nick?
He's for sure in a bathroom somewhere.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say
That's
something
all.
else.
We did walk by the White Castle last night. We showed John,
That's where it is, John.
and
History happens here.
we did not go in. I can only assume my face is plastered all over the walls.
Yeah,
Do not serve this man.
Yeah, don't let this man in, even if he says he respects you.
and definitely don't give him the key to the bathroom.
That's what they call you, the respecter.
Yep. Yeah.
They don't know your actual name, so it's like an old West
Mm-hmm.
wanted ad.
We got 3 minutes before we get out of here.
Okay.
Do we have any Creighton takes, Josh? What's going to happen with Creighton over the next 2 days?
I think they're going to win today. I think they're going to win and cover, and everyone's going to chill out for 5 seconds.
Interesting.
That'd be my take for today's game. But I know that Creighton fans are really nervous about this matchup.
I am still curious about them against a team that is going to pressure them the way that San Diego State does with their physicality. I don't think this is the team that is particularly designed to handle that well. With that being said, if I'm to make just a tiny excuse for Creighton against Nebraska, it was their first time that they had seen anywhere close to that kind of intensity the entire year.
Oh, yeah.
So you get
A lot of bye games.
you adjust to it as you go along, and eventually you're halfway through the Big East slate, and everybody's pressuring the crap out of you because that's what they do in the Big East, and you're handling it fine. So Creighton will be okay. It's just, is today the day? And what would their lineup look like without Stephen Ashworth in it?
Yeah.
Does Ty Davis start today?
Yeah. And hey, going back to what we talked about a few minutes ago, like, do they really feed Kalkbrenner and try to get him going, given that he only famously, I don't know if you've seen this or heard about this, 1 field goal attempt.
Yes.
And just 4 points.
It was a three-pointer.
It was a 3-pointer, and it was late in the first half, too, wasn't it?
Yeah. He didn't really touch the ball much in the game
Pretty
because
crazy.
he wasn't allowed to. So did
They cancel culture has come for Ryan Kalkbrenner touching the
Nebraska
basketball.
canceled him for
Wow.
sure.
Wow.
So will San Diego State find that Nebraska put together a quality blueprint to beat the Jays? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how I feel going into this game. I'm not particularly
You seem
confident.
nervous.
Yeah.
Nick, do
Yeah,
you
but
have
that's
any
just me
takes?
on every Creighton game, I think, probably. He turned his mic off again. He did.
I think Creighton will be fine.
Why do you think that, Nick? Give me
Because
more.
I think it's a good team. I think it's a strong team. And Odson said earlier, what has San Diego State done?
What has San Diego State done? Lost
Made the
by a
Final
lot
Four a couple years ago.
live in the past a bit more over there.
Yeah,
Why don't you,
Happer.
Happer?
Yeah, they beat Creighton in that one game.
They did beat Creighton in that one game.
That was
That
sad.
one game, though.
That's true, Nick. That's a good point.
Creighton beat them the year before that in the NCAA tournament. People forget that.
They do.
They don't like to talk about that
By
much.
the way, boots on the ground journalism. John Bishop reports to me.
Yep.
11:05 is the official tip time. 11:05.
11:05 Pacific. That's
Oh, my bad.
105 Central.
105. Why did John say it to me that way? 105. 105. So he'll have a half hour plus 5-minute pregame show, and then it'll be basketball time. Hoopsgiving is here, friends.
I can't
Feast
believe it.
week
I can't
has
believe it.
arrived.
We're finally here.
I know.
And by the way, the Creighton San Diego State line has appeared on the Circa board.
Guys, I forgot to play your music. I was so engrossed by your conversation.
So is it goodbye time?
It is goodbye time.
Okay, goodbye.
Sorry.
All right, talk to you guys after the game. We'll
Bye.
see you later. Enjoy the basketball.